Hold on, getting my life all together. All right. All right, let's do it. All right, let's see here. What do I want to watch? What do I want to react to today?
In the moment. Impulsive, she didn't give a fuck.
Using the educational resources that we have, it's your fault.
I appreciate you acknowledging learning, though.
Stupid. Jackie.
Caleb, I'm just wondering if you think that social media has anything to contribute here,
absolutely,
because
100%.
what I've seen, and we've always
people trying to keep up appearances and trying to live a lifestyle that social media makes them think they deserve.
and put debt on our credit cards. We've seen that over time in this country. But culturally speaking, with the rise of technology and Instagram and seeing what your neighbor has and seeing what that person has and the trip that they went on, I mean, people will kill themselves trying to take a selfie.
Then they deserve to die.
Off the side of a cliff because they want people to see that. How much of this sort of consumption is and culture and psychological aspect is being driven by social media and contributing to what
I have no sympathy for weak-minded people that are addicted to consumerism and want to keep up appearances. I have no sympathy for them. Honestly, people like this should be happy that they're alive. Natural selection would have gotten rid of them a long time ago. Somehow they're here. They're addicted to Labubu's.
Always see it on our show every day.
I have sympathy for them in the same way that I have sympathy for a dog that licks up a bunch of coolant because it smells good and the dog think it tastes good and then the dog dies. Like, I have sympathy for them in that way, right? It's like, damn. You're really stupid. You just didn't know any better, huh? You just dumb as fuck. You know, like that's the way I see them the same way.
If you remember the Labubu, the Labubu thing that was sweeping the world just a couple months ago, we had guests every single week that were maxing out credit cards just to get the next Labubu. Because it's
there's this gas station I go to, and there's this gas station I go to, it has Labubus at it, and it has gambling at it. And I see these stupid these like 60-year-old fat hogs just putting in dollar bills to this fucking. Shit. And they're just sitting there doing it again and again and again. It's like a dog drinking coolant. That's what it is, like a dog drinking coolant.
posted everywhere online. And now we're not in the era of Beanie Baby trends lasting for years. We're in the micro trend where things get replaced every single month and people just
ain't nobody thinking about little boo-boos anymore. Let me see what's recording. The fuck? The fuck? Just put it in there. Little boo-boo. What? People don't give a shit about this anymore. Those stupid fucking girls wasted their fucking money. Nobody even cares about it anymore. They fell off. Little boo-boo fell off. That's what's crazy. Is that they thought they were gonna overtake Funko Pop? Funko Pop is back. It's back in a big way. See, they thought it was better, right? And Funko Pop, it's still there. U2s? It's not really that popular. Yeah, people don't really use those. And so fidget spinners, yeah, exactly. And so this is what they do. They wasted their money for a fad, and it's already over.
To be a part of the next thing, you don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
And it's a huge part of our culture. But that's why I am happy that many states around the country, now more than half the states, have
it's an engineered part of our culture that's a psyop in order to keep stupid people spending money.
Personal finance classes is required to graduate from grade school.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're fighting back on that.
I think we need to hold more kids back from 5th grade. I think that you shouldn't be allowed to go to middle school if you can't do multiplication and division. Like, and I really think we should do this, right? Is that 3rd grade? No, I think 5th grade, right? Because it's like that's like a tier list, right? It's like kind of, you know, like in a gotcha game where like you have to do like a trial to like advance to the next world level, right? And so it's like now everything's level 50. And so, but like if you really suck, you can't even get that done. And so what I think we need to do is we need to have these tests for like 5th graders, and like if you can't pass the test, then you stay in 5th grade. And then if you can't pass it 3 times, then there's like a secondary education system that's made for people that are stupid. And so like then you learn how to like they give you a hammer and then they show you how to take a big rock and how to make it smaller and turn it into little rocks. And that's all you're gonna be good for. And I think that's a nice thing, right? You're gonna teach them a skill. Because like they ain't never gonna understand algebra. Like you can't figure out division and like you're fucking 11 years old. Honestly, like you're already cooked. It's over. It's over. And I know people might not want to hear that. Like, oh, you can't just say that about an 11-year-old. Yeah. Yeah, I can.
As well.
Okay,
Buckle up here.
Caleb, Mr. Debt and Apple Pie might have a question for you here. Larry Kudlow himself.
Well, look, I think what you just said is very good. I mean, any education regarding personal finance is a very good thing, and
Yeah.
I don't doubt that a lot of people mismanage their credit cards. I don't doubt it.
Absolutely,
But
they do.
I will say this: household wealth in this country through the end of last year is $180 trillion. $180 trillion.
That's a lot of money.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's everything: stocks, bonds, homes, cash. blah blah blah, and less liabilities,
I
less
need
credit
that.
card debt.
I need that money.
So your number 1.28 trillion. I think that was the number of credit card debt.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, but 180 trillion is bigger than that. Actually, I'd go a step further because I do believe.
Can you shut the fuck up? Just go back to your nursing home. Like, who the fuck are you talking about? Like, what do you just shut up? Okay, Grandpa, wrap it up. Holy, what are you talking? Like, what are you even saying?
Debt is as American as apple pie. Sure. The country was founded on debt. Alexander
Is founded on debt. Shut up.
Hamilton, God bless him. I just spoke to him a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I bet you probably did. You're that fucking old. Probably knew him.
But the point is, we have debt in public, federal debt in public hands, which is about $30 trillion. Okay. And that's even bigger than this 1.28 trillion.
Right.
But again, compared to 180 trillion of household wealth, it's a debt equity ratio that any company would be proud of.
That's right.
And the other one,
What do you like? What was this? What was it? Like, he's like getting paid by MasterCard or something like this? Like, what are you talking about? Like, obviously, like that's the case, but like if you look at debt, it's primarily held by a small amount of people, right? It's like poor people. Like, I don't think that, and also here's another factor, right? It's like Caleb Hammer doesn't bring somebody on that's been crushed by medical debt, and then he like makes fun of them for like not being able to pay for their broken leg. He makes fun of them for paying for Labubu's instead of paying for their broken leg. He makes fun of them for paying for a new car instead of fixing their house. So like this entire, like everything about this premise is wrong.
1.28 trillion. I mean, it wouldn't show up on the you'd have to go from logs to
Shut the fuck up. Like I hate listening to fucking
indexes anyway. I just don't. It's not a catastrophe, okay? And we're living in a.
Shut up! It obviously is a catastrophe. Like it's bottom heavy, and look at the income distribution. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, it's just, this is so stupid. Also, this is all. Keep in mind that this is projected. This is like saying Elon Musk has $850 billion. No, he doesn't. If Elon Musk tried to sell that $850 billion worth of stock, it would make the stock's value go down astronomically. It's not like nothing about this is true. It's stupid. It's stupid philosophically. It's stupid functionally. It's not even true. Like everything about Jesus.
Very prosperous times, and people, if you produce, you create income. Consumers spend their income. But the education part, I'm going to give you a lot of credit, Caleb. Yeah. The education part is really important, and I think that is missing from the story.
All right, Caleb, we'll give you the last word on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I do agree. We live in a very prosperous country, and a lot of people are lucky. I'm not freaking out on credit card debts in terms of like.
I should be. Absolutely, you should be, because it's a mindset.
collapsing the U.S. economy. I don't want to bring it to that level. That's not what I'm trying to say. But from a household to household concern, where people are maxed out, where 50% are carrying those balances month over month at a 20% interest rate. People can't afford emergencies with that. Half the country says they can't afford an emergency if it pops up of like $1,000. The majority of Americans are feeling uncomfortable headed into this year about personal finances, and credit cards are bad. Card debt can be good. Credit cards can be used right. We love mortgages. I'm assuming everyone on the panel loves a good mortgage. I'm not complaining about debt in general. I use it myself, but irresponsible credit card usage is bad for the household.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's a key point.
Okay, we found agreement between the guy who helps people fight debt and Mr. Apple Pie and debt himself. That's an amazing thing. Caleb Hammer, that was so fun to hear from you. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you again soon, I hope.
What a fucking G. I love, just a second, sorry about that. I love Caleb Hammer. I'm going to link y'all the clip, right? Apparently this just came out. I hadn't seen it yet.
What if Robert Baratheon stayed fit and ruled like a true king?
Give me
Let's
half a second here. I'll come over and help you. All right. Safe spot. Stream's on.
Okay.
Thanks.
Watch out, buggers.
Hope your brake's stuck in real quick.
Thank you, my love. Can I just speak with plants, actually? I said, no, I have to speak with plants, actually.
Oh, yeah. Speak with plants, that's quite a skill.
Thank you.
Not even done your box of donuts and you already got another one, huh? Not even done your box of donuts and already got another one. And another little school. Ah.
Back up.
Is that it?
I've got trash out there, but you're good. Thank you, my love. I hope you enjoy your food.
What food?
The food I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right there.
Huh? Oh. I couldn't see it underneath all the other stuff. Oh. Alright, we're back.
Or the depths of it in the video. Rob finds Robert under the godswood of the Red Keep. There, the newly made king sits under the tree's maw. Its face is twisted into a sorrowful visage that mirrors Robert's own emotions. However, he hardly notices it as he sips from his wineskin. I thought I'd find you here, Your Grace. Robert is so caught up in his drink that he does not hear Ned until he speaks. The king gasps and jumps back, surprised, and stares.
Yeah?
At the barbecue place, and we were just like chatting back and forth, and she was like, I'm gonna give you extra meat because you're nice. You don't want it, or you can eat it?
It's mac and cheese.
Okay, but you need the beans, right?
Yeah. Okay. Can you bring over a fork for me, please?
Oh my god. Did she give you napkins?
No.
Ecstatic.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay. Reorganize this a little bit real quick here.
I told her I was pregnant too, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, congratulations! I'll give you extra." And because you're nice.
She's like, oh my god, someone finally talked to me.
I think
The gift of gab, right?
I just love a yap.
Oh yeah, she's a yapper.
And then Dominica and I talked. I think we sat there for almost 2 hours.
I know, I came home and I was like, she's not back yet, Jesus Christ.
Nah, we just chatted the whole time. She's a sweetheart.
I am quite glad you enjoyed it.
She's a big gift giver.
Oh yeah? She come with some stuff?
Yeah. Well, she came with my Christmas gift late. I was like, you're so cute. I'm so sorry I'm empty-handed. But she got me cat eye nail polish, gel polish.
Nice.
She's very sweet.
Like you use gel, right?
I compliment her on her nails all the time too, and I'm always like, she complimented mine too. The last time we were hanging out with them, fucking forever ago. Oh my god, Hayden's birthday, which is coming up again soon.
Yeah. I saw that on the calendar.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do dinner.
Okay.
Not sure when or how or why, because my family doesn't decide
Until
things.
like day of.
Oh my god, it bothers me so much.
We'll break them.
Like, we have calendars.
Like, guys.
We can plan ahead.
Maybe you should float it now. So, hey.
I did. Mom was like, I don't know how to talk about it yet. I'm like, okay, let me know.
Well, maybe you should do that. I know. I love fucking mac and cheese.
You want a bite? Okay. I'm proud of you. Your willpower is incredible.
I'd start with one thing and it'll be another. You know? And baby happy about it?
Yes, very. Where'd you find those onesies?
It was an ad on Facebook.
The algorithm knows.
Oh yeah, the algorithm knew before we even started telling people. Big Brother's always watching.
Oh, absolutely. We're gonna do Wasabi Factory tomorrow before the hockey game. I think the game starts at like 6, so we're probably gonna get dinner around like 4:45, 5 o'clock. We should probably plan for like 4:30.
Okay. Cool. If it's later in the day, I can actually stream.
Cool.
Go to the gym first thing in the morning, and then come home, stream the rest of the day.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna try and go to the gym with you tomorrow morning. I'm gonna sit my ass on a mat and do some mobility.
I've been telling you, move your body. At least move the body.
I've been doing like some stretches and rolling out here, but I think I need like
mobility,
space.
Yeah.
You know, the change in space really helps with that motivation. So
yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be longer than today. They're doing like stuff on the ceiling, but all the bikes were moved into the like aerobic room or whatever. So might still be in there tomorrow.
That's fine. We'll figure it out. Worst case, I'll walk on the hamster wheel. Treadmill.
The gazelle.
No, the one that's like curved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I hopped on one of those things, I was like, shit.
Yeah, me too. I was like, whoa, this is weird.
Yeah. It's funky.
But so anytime I eat while I'm on stream, I can write off that entire meal.
I'll send you the receipt.
I'm just gonna assume $10 every time I stream.
Average it out.
Maybe 15.
This was 30.
No. Damn.
Was it good though?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay. I think we said the same thing about the last time we got this barbecue.
Yeah, it's alright. Honestly, I feel like my roast is better. Humble brag.
I love you.
I love you, babe.
They're so happy. And they're dancing in the streets, but they won't be dancing for long. That I can assure you.
Well, 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 Donald Trump has gone and done it again. He has turned liberals, even the most devout, into conservatives. That will make a lot more sense to you in a second here. Tariffs are not gone, by the way. In fact, they may have actually just gotten worse and become more legal. I'm Jasmine Lane. Like, share, subscribe, comment your thoughts down below, and give me a follow on other platforms as well. And now that Trump has temporarily, maybe kind of, been removed as being a distraction focal point from the media, you'll never guess what they want you to focus on now. You know, anything, so that you're not just focusing on your own government. That is not helping your life at all right now. I will give you a hint what this new focal point is. It starts with an R and it rhymes with Blacism.
Canada said to Jameson, I might want to say it, Jameson, but Canada said, I hope you win this decision, because if you don't win, you'll actually be allowed to charge us with a little additional work, higher tariffs. Jameson, you want to comment on that?
Yes, sir. So to the president's point, we have a lot of tools out there. We have Section 122, which will be implemented today, will be signed today and implemented very shortly. We have Section 301 investigations, which are incredibly legally durable, where we can investigate and address unfair trading practices that have led to our huge trade deficit. And so you can look forward in the coming days and weeks to seeing all of that come out, and we're going to keep continuity in the program. We're going to keep addressing this so that the deficit can keep going down. That's the trend it has, and we can make America great again.
No.
So to give you the Coles notes of exactly what happened today, without any spin, this is just the facts. The court ruled today, the U.S. Supreme Court, that Donald Trump could not use the International Emergencies Economic Powers Act, also known as IEPA, which was designed initially to freeze assets, to respond to foreign threats and impose sanctions, that he could not use that act to impose sweeping global tariffs.
Today I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122, over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. And we're also initiating several Section 301 and other investigations to protect our country from unfair trading practices of other countries and companies.
So while there were all kinds of liberal pundits, everybody saying this is going to be so disastrous for Trump, oh my gosh, see, blah, blah, blah. The courts didn't say you're not allowed to build that house. They said you're not allowed to use that blueprint. And then Trump immediately responded by saying, that's totally fine. We're going to use a different contractor anyway, aka using different legal tools. And then he announced a new 10% global tariff using another one of his authorities. So the strategy continues. Nothing really changed that much, just the mechanism changed, especially when it comes to Canada. So in Canada, almost all of Canada-US trade is covered under CUSMA, USMCA, which everybody just conveniently forgot to pretend existed during the election, and then started cheering about how we have the best deal thanks to it after the election. Liars. But CUSMA compliant goods were already exempt from the emergency tariffs that were 35%. So the tariffs that are hurting Canadians right now are those sectoral tariffs: autos, steel, lumber, aluminum, and those are imposed under a different measure, which does in fact still remain.
Let's be clear about what today's ruling was and what it wasn't. Despite the misplaced gloating from Democrats, ill-informed media outlets, and the very people who gutted our industrial base, the court did not rule against President Trump's tariffs. 6 justices simply ruled that IEPA authorities cannot be used to raise even $1 of revenue. This administration will invoke alternative legal authorities to replace the IEPA tariffs. We will be leveraging Section 232 and Section 301 tariff authorities that have been validated through thousands of legal challenges. Treasury's estimates show that the use of Section 122 authority, combined with potentially enhanced Section 232 and Section 301 tariffs, will result in virtually unchanged tariff revenue in 2026.
I honestly feel like a lot of politicians in this country across the political spectrum kind of jumped the gun in cheering this on or in talking about it, because at the end of the day, for Canada, really not a whole lot has changed here. Not to mention, Trump, through other legal measures, just made tariffs even stronger. Which, sure, yeah, you could view that however you want to when it comes to being retaliatory. nonetheless, it's within his legal right. So, you can cry about it for an hour and then move on and figure out what you're going to do about it is kind of how I see these types of situations.
The vast majority, well over 90% of Canadian exports to the United States weren't affected by these reciprocal tariffs. Those are the tariffs that the U.S. Supreme Court addressed today. But this just reminds us again of the importance of diversifying our trading relationships. This uncertainty means that the Prime Minister's commitment in the election to build trading relationships with reliable partners, be less dependent on the U.S. market, to build big in Canada, again, build here at home. All of those things become even more important as we head into this further uncertainty.
I am going to explain this to you in the most unignorable, you must share with your friends type of a way, because I would be very remiss to not highlight what is intentionally not being said here by Canadian officials, which is that our biggest priority right now should still be a deal with America. That and that alone is what is causing the uncertainty, right? So, yes, sure, they're blaming the deflection, the instability, it comes from Washington, not from Ottawa at all, not from our policy choices. We're victims. We've been victims for the last year here, and unfortunately, that hasn't actually worked to dramatically improve our economy. Shocker. And again, the strategic repositioning of we're going to justify deeper relationships with the EU, Asia Pacific, and other trade alignments. And fair enough. Yes, we should be doing that. I've said that all along. But the reality check here is that diversification sounds very strong. However, in practical terms, geography matters a lot. Supply chains are deeply integrated, and you cannot replicate the U.S. market, or even their proximity, overnight. Not to mention that Europe and Asia also have their own protectionist layers. It's a long-term strategy, sure, yes, one that we should embark on. Definitely not a short-term shield, a short-term solution that is actually going to be good for us. Like, the economic exposure is so immediate, and the message and the game plan is all long-term. And I'm going to explain all of that to you with some very relevant and recent examples of what it is that Mark Carney's trying to do versus the reality of what he's trying to do. But I wanted to first mention the constant political angle with this. That is not productive, it's not helpful, and it certainly is not transparent either. Because by continuously saying these things, it just hardens how much we need to buy at home and diversify, it keeps the focus off of the real questions, such as, is Canada doing good in negotiations? Where are we at with that? Are they working hard enough? Are they pushing hard enough for Canada during negotiations? It doesn't seem, when you just hear them say, whatever, Washington's Washington, but we're diversifying, it sounds like you don't care. Maybe because you don't. And also, did domestic policy here at home in Canada make us more vulnerable? And what are you doing to alleviate that?
But there are still very key economic indicators here. Despite everything we know is wrong with the economic case in the United States, that it's also having a detrimental impact here, and that people are not doing great in a lot of different respects.
No,
what issues does that present?
No, absolutely. Obviously, that's hurting everybody at the grocery store and trying to buy a house. But Vashi, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, as a business person now, the capital flight that is happening in this country right now, money going away, it's in the billions and billions and billions of dollars right now, this very second, for the last 9 months, who knows how long. So they do need certainty, Vashi. That's another point for, vis-a-vis what Marco was saying. We do need a deal eventually with the United States to allay that, to make this a sound investment opportunity to invest in Canada and for our own Canadians to invest in Canada. So that isn't happening right now. And I really worry about the long-term impacts of that if we're in this stasis period of no deal, who knows, right?
Diversification is certainly a strategy, and it's a good one. However, reality is a fact, and policy needs to operate in reality, not aspiration, not signals of intent. It needs to be in the cold, hard truth and reality. And you know what? Let's give you a perfect example of this, right? Because the diversification talking point, when you start to get that into some actual numbers, it looks really different. Let's take Stephen Harper as an example and what changed. 2006 to 2015, Canada signed dozens of trade agreements, including with South Korea, the EU, Colombia, Panama, so many different nations that we signed those with. And okay, so where did Canada start? Well, in the early 2000s, pre-Harper, we had 85 to 87% of our Canadian exports went exclusively to the United States of America. Only 13 to 15% of our trade was with the rest of the world combined. Then, when you have Stephen Harper, who gets in 2006 roughly, and then towards the tail end, 2014 to 2015, Canada's non-U.S. exports had risen to about 25 to 26%. Our U.S. exports had fallen to about 74 to 75%, which means that diversification improved by roughly 10 to 12 percentage points compared to the early 2000s. We then had Justin Trudeau for 10 years, then Mark Carney, and in that time frame, an additional 10 years, Canada's exports overall didn't change. So what hasn't changed in 20 years? It doesn't matter who the prime minister is. It doesn't matter who the president is. Canada has consistently exported anywhere from 74 to 78% of goods to the United States. Why is that? Because Justin Trudeau also signed trade agreements with various nations. Why didn't that dramatically diversify? Oh, right. Our infrastructure and our geography. Japan has a main trading partner. About 20% of their total exports go to the United States. A close second is China. Same with the European Union, actually. Their main trading partner is also the United States at about 21% on its high end. Their second is China. Now, you may say, oh my gosh, well, their main trading partner is so much lower than ours. It's because they're so much more diversified. Want to know why that is? Because of their location. If you take a look at the countries that are a part of the EU, if you take a look at Japan and you see everything else that's around, it makes a lot of sense. It makes sense logistically. It makes sense with their geography. And those two nations and unions have a main trading partner that's the exact same as ours. Substantially less than ours is, but both of them signed a deal with the United States so that they wouldn't screw up their trade relationship with their number one trading partner. And I really want you to think about that. When you hear all this language about trade diversification, sure, yeah. So what, in another 20 years, is it maybe going to change by 5%? Maybe less than that? Because today, 74 to 78% of our exports still go to the United States. Those other nations, they are more diversified due to their structure and geography alone. As you can clearly see on a map, Canada is integrated due to where we are located. And the funny part is despite how diversified all of those other nations are, their number one trading partner, even though logistically it might not make as much sense, is still the US. And they still prioritized getting a deal and providing certainty for their citizens.
You know, if we're going to have, our economic future in the near term predicated on, defense procurement and a major projects office in Calgary, I think we need to do better than that. I think Tony's right. We need to make Canada more competitive. When you see the needle start moving on people whose livelihoods, businesses, and investment decisions are actually the hallmark of whether or not we're going to have a strong economy, those are the canaries in the mine. It's not whether or not the government wants to do deficit spending on military procurement. That's patchwork stuff. The core stuff of being competitive on the tax side, on the regulatory side, inviting investment, and the people who invest real dollars. When those people start moving, I'll believe it, and I'll be much more enthused about where we are. And also, a strong Canada. A strong Canada means a strong United States. A strong United States means a strong Canada. Our economies have to work in tandem, and that's the argument for CUSMA. That's the argument for trade. We're their biggest customer. They're our biggest customer. When they're wealthy, we're wealthy, and the inverse is true. And we never should stop beating that drum. It's the most successful relationship in the history of the world.
And if I can be honest, all of the talk about trade diversification means nothing, because the only thing that could actually reduce U.S. dependence are massive port expansions. rail infrastructure upgrades, pipelines, access to tidewater, LNG export terminals at scale, aggressive Indo-Pacific trade strategies, as well as productivity reform domestically. All of that is domestic policy, not press conferences, not agreements of intent, none of those things. So what is Canada actually doing? It's been a year. And before we move on to the next distraction, because my gosh, anything at all to avoid talking about our own federal government, I did just want to say that, this Supreme Court ruling, having all of these people on the left, in Canada in particular, saying, yeah, see, Trump overstepped his use of emergency powers. He's authoritarian. Yeah, he's a fascist over there. See, I told you so. This is a good day for democracy. It's like suddenly everybody just discovered their love of constitutional limits. Great. So you agree then? You agree? Okay, because you agree that emergency powers shouldn't be stretched to bypass democratic process. Yeah, you agree that executives shouldn't govern by crisis. You agree that power should be narrow, temporary, and accountable. Well, that is music to my ears, because that is exactly what Canadian Conservatives have been arguing for years. And we've been vilified, smeared, shamed, had the most embarrassingly false smear campaigns against us to try to really discredit us and shut us down based on lies. You don't get to call something authoritarian when your opponent does it and accept it when you're at home. So if this is the standard now that you have chosen, all I have to say is welcome. Welcome, and I'm happy that you have joined the right side of history, and I'm very excited to see you fight for it here at home too.
Adding 600,000 people in 5 years is like adding half the city of Calgary or Edmonton in 5 years. Although sustainable immigration has always been an important part of our provincial growth model, throwing the doors wide open to anyone and everyone across the globe has flooded our classrooms, emergency rooms, and social support systems with far too many people, far too quickly. As just one example, our student population has skyrocketed by more than 80,000 students in just the last 4 years, and more than 140,000 students now having English as their additional language. Is it any wonder that our teachers and students are struggling so much with classroom complexity and crowding?
These same elites who lied about the media, the leaders who trashed our economy, well, they are not done yet. While you were watching the latest scandal, they were building a digital prison for your savings. It's not just a policy change, it's a total takeover of your independence. They want you trapped in a failing paper system while the dollar craters to its weakest level in years. They're pushing digital IDs and CBDCs so they can flip an off switch on your life the moment that you step out of line. In Canada, we already saw them freeze bank accounts for dissent. Now they're coming for your retirement. But smart patriots aren't waiting to be victims. They're moving their wealth into the one asset that the deep state can't freeze, track, or delete: prosperity today. I guess Donald Trump can't be the Liberals' villain forever, so they now have to move on to Premier Danielle Smith. She announced an October 19th, 2026 referendum on various things. So there's 5 questions, 5 themes here, which is greater provincial control over immigration levels, restricting provincially funded services to citizens' permanent residents and Alberta-approved statuses, 12-month residency requirement before social support eligibility, charging a fee or premium to non-permanent residents for health and education use, and also requiring proof of citizenship to vote in provincial elections. None of this is a minor tweak whatsoever, and you can bet your bottom the activist class is losing their minds over it, despite the fact that our own Liberal government has acknowledged that the immigration system has gone totally out of control. Mark Carney just gave a press conference about this 2 days ago. The reason why Danielle Smith is bringing this up is because they have linked Alberta's fiscal strain to lower oil prices, rapid population growth, and federal immigration policy. And of course, the critics are all out. Oh my gosh, she's in really big hot water for this one.
Like, I think I'm a public figure who has been in this role for about 7 years now, and I can tell you that the level of racism and hate that has been expressed has risen undoubtedly in this province, and it is aligned with this government and this premier's attempt to pin all of her failings on newcomers to this province. And we know that it's not just newcomers to this province who are experiencing this. We heard a story of a man in Calgary who 16-year-old daughter was working at a drive-through, and somebody came through the drive-through and said to her, "You're stealing our jobs, go back where you came from." This young girl was born in Calgary. She is a Calgarian. She is an Albertan just as much as the person who just moved here last week. There is no doubt in my mind that underlying all of this is an attempt to be divisive, to pit people against each other, and it is emboldening some very dark and disturbing behavior. And the Premier can try to pretend with her wordy questions that that's not what this is about, but she hasn't provided any facts to support that there is a big financial income or hit coming from allegedly paying support services to people who, in her view, don't have entitlement to them. She hasn't delivered on any of that. All she's delivered on is the innuendo and suggestion that people who are new here are somehow taking things away from people who lived here before. And that is designed to single out people and direct and encourage racism. We know that. We don't need to be, it's not coded language. Anybody who's a person of color has experienced some of this in the last few months, in the last year. They know what's happening here, and it's very clear what it is. And the Premier wouldn't even distance herself from some very despicable comments from her, executive director or deputy chief of staff. I can't remember what his title is anymore. But she won't distance herself from that language. And again, true leadership is not taking a situation and making it worse and making it hotter and inflaming people and making them more angry. True leadership is actually coming together and saying, bringing down the temperature, being calm, being responsible, being thoughtful. That's what people should expect from their Premier. That is what I expect. And I know that.
I think the biggest danger with all of this is when either side refuses to acknowledge another dimension. Sure, it's possible that all of the things she stated are true. It's also possible that population growth has outpaced and strained services, that provinces are already struggling with the intake capacity, and that governments are raising legitimate jurisdictional questions. They are raising legitimate, valid concerns based on the data, based on what their people want to see.
Give you some idea just how extraordinary the changes have been in the last 3 years. To see the population of Canada go up by 6 million people. And nobody we didn't have public debate about that. No one asked us as provincial leaders. No one asked the public whether we wanted to throw out an immigration policy that had served us well for 40 years with an experiment on bringing in a massive number of temporary workers and students. No one asked anybody whether or not they approved that. So we're asking them now. Do we want to continue this, or do we want to try to go back to the normal immigration policy that we had that served us so well for 40 years, where we give the priority to economic migrants, and those that want to stay, we find a pathway to permanent citizenship, or permanent residency, and then ultimately citizenship.
If somebody tells a teenage girl born in Calgary to go back where she came from, that's not policy. That's prejudice. That's rude. That's immoral. You shouldn't do that. That's wrong, right? But if we can't debate intake levels, if we can't debate strain on our services that we pay for without immediately collapsing into accusations of you're an ist, you're a phobe, then we're not serious about solving anything. I'm Jasmine Lane. That is it for me today. We will definitely be talking more about this tomorrow, as well as what Mark Carney had to say. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, and comment your thoughts down below, and I will see you very soon.
Salutations, everybody. It is Maddie here today. Hope you're all doing absolutely excellent. Today, we're gathering one more time to talk about Crimson Desert, and it's not too long now until we get our hands on this ambitious open-world action-adventure game. Not an RPG. I know there's been a lot of conversation about that online, but Pearl Abyss has shut that down. How'd they do so? Well, Will Powers, who's the head of PR at Pearl Abyss America, showed up on the Drop Frames podcast, and there he dropped a ton of information. We're going to talk about microtransactions, difficulties, Souls-like stuff, RPG mechanics, etc., etc. A lot to get into today, so if you're new here, you're into what's going on with Crimson Desert, first off, thanks for supporting these videos. They've done really well. We're really excited about the game, and we're really excited that so many of you are excited, so let's get right into it. Consider subscribing. We'll talk more Crimson Desert in the near future. Let's talk a little bit about demoing, right? A lot of us want to believe this game and everything it's putting forward. They're saying the right thing, they're playing the right tune, showing the right stuff. It's been very transparent, open, honest interviews. What could go wrong? Well, what if I got to play this game, right? Well, they've shut down the notion of a demo, and they've explained why here. The quote comes from Gaming Bolt, where we see here they write, "Unfortunately, things aren't quite that simple. On the Drop Frames podcast, Will Powers, marketing director at Pearl Abyss America, said he understood the ask for a public demo, but it's not happening. Why? Because quite frankly, quote, this is a hard game to demo," end quote. He says it goes back to like 0 people in the world having played this game without Pearl Abyss staff present next to it. That's because the demo builds that we've put out there aren't standalone demos. They are save states of the game or the boss, like instances of bosses which aren't representative of the game as you're seeing it as a whole. If I'm calling this an open world game and we're doing a boss fight demo, then that's not representative of the main thing that we're saying the game is, which is open world. I understand the need for it. I understand the ask for it. We're not ignoring that. What I can say is this: we are going to get the game into as many people's hands that are authoritative figures that should be representative of what the experience is like before launch, and we are going to release performance numbers. So between the two of those, I hope this fully answers your expectations and what the game is. Hey, if they live up to one of those parts, I think fair answer at the end of the day. I understand some games aren't fit for a demo. I remember doing the Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning demo. That's a random pull, but I love that game. But I remember doing the demo for that. That's an open world game, but it was a little bit more enclosed where it wasn't cracking things wide open. You did like the introduction, the cave, and then you exited into open world. And some demos do like a trial, like it's on a timer and it just ends at a certain point there. I understand, given they've shown us about 20 minutes worth of features in trailers and they haven't really fully explained all of them there, that to get your head wrapped around this game, I don't know if like a little hour dip your toe in the pool does the trick. I understand for skeptics out there that, yeah, this also may be like they're hiding a little bit, but I've talked with a couple friends about it, and I just think ultimately with how much they have shown, it is what it is, and I think they're shaping expectations properly, which is what we'll talk about when we get into RPGs here. It's a little disappointing you can't get your hands on the game early, but hey, if they live up to their word here and hand some people out review codes, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know, man. Your boy's dry out here. I'm not entitled to anything, but man, it's been tough. I don't remember the last time I reviewed something. So we'll see. But anyway, let's keep going here. Pearl Abyss doesn't think of Crimson Desert as an RPG, but it understands why you might. This is another key quote that kind of led into some online debate. So let's get into it because this will naturally carry into Twitter. So, starting off with what PC Games End wrote, they said, given the history as a companion to the MMO Black Desert Online before it grew into more of its own thing, Powers is asked what genre Pearl Abyss considers Crimson now. Quote, the developers don't want to call this an RPG, end quote. He responds, quote, with the term RPG comes a lot of connotations around a character creator, specifics like experience points and leveling systems and stuff like that. Those, as players would expect them, are absent from this game. However, there are an absolute ton of RPG elements, so I think that's why the genre becomes a really tough thing, because everyone has their connotations with it, end quote. This is something I have talked about an exhausting amount on how like the term RPG has been watered down. Mostly I think of because of some Ubisoft games. I don't mean to always drag them in my Crimson Desert videos, but they are the ones that before I was on my whole like what's going on with Ubisoft thing, they were the first to really start calling their games RPGs because they had a skill tree. Like, I think they were calling Far Cry 3 in some interviews an RPG. And I'm like, oh, let's, like, settle down. It's an element, but you're not a role-playing game, right? But there are so many definitions to a role-playing game. Like, is it choice and consequence? But there's no leveling system. Is it just a leveling system? What's a JRPG, then? I've seen the conversation before, so I get there's the nuances here. But then this carries into Twitter, where Miss 5000 Watts put up a really great post saying, quote, I think this is one of the reasons why they're being really careful to not call it an RPG. The term has expectations from the player that Crimson Desert doesn't have. Crimson Desert definitely strikes me as an open world action adventure with an incredibly fun combat sandbox, to which Will responds saying, you get it. Open world questing and action sandbox for sure. This kind of firms up what I've been talking about a lot for our last few Crimson Desert videos. I've been saying how this is a game that like you should expect just pure open world. Like the evolution of the Ubisoft open world should be, I hope, this game. As in, if you're expecting role-playing and leveling up and that sort of stuff, like how progression works, we noticed they didn't show much beyond a little skill tree in their trailers. They've actually described, not only in those trailers, but in this interview, how progression works through these artifacts. To me, this sounds a lot more like Zelda. Did you like how Zelda games let you get heart pieces and increase your health bar and that sort of stuff? That's kind of what this game is doing here. And I kind of like that form of progression. I mean, obviously, I'm a RPG diehard through and through, but I'm definitely not one of those people online right now whining that this isn't a role-playing game. I like that it's kind of embracing what it wants to be. I think the combat looks really fun. If the enemies pull a lot out of me with that, like, that's all I really need for a game like this that has such wide open exploration and freedom, which we'll also talk a little bit more about later in this interview here. But I'm totally cool with the way that they're handling progression here, because I want a world that just kind of keeps driving me forward. I feel like I've been looking for that itch to be scratched really since like Elden Ring, where it's just like, what's behind that corner? What's behind that wall? I want to know every secret in this world, and I want it to feel unique, feel a little bit more distinct, and I hope this game does deliver that. And I think building the world around finding those artifacts rather than just like level grinding, I think sounds great. But this does bring up the conversation about difficulty. How does the game scale if you don't have a leveling system? Can you just go anywhere at any point in time? Well, let's start off talking difficulty. And naturally, any game that's third person with a health bar and a lock-on mechanic, people seem to think, is this a Souls-like? So MP First has the headline for this one. Crimson Desert is not a Souls-like and will not have microtransactions at launch. Hallelujah to that last one. We'll talk about that as well. But they write, speaking on the Drop Frames podcast, Pearl Abyss's marketing and PR director, Will Powers, talked about the beauty of Crimson Desert's open world. He explained that players do not need to be highly skilled to just explore the map. He said there will be bosses to defeat in the main story in order to progress. Still, players are free to move in different directions and complete side quests, upgrade weapons, and find ways to make fights easier. In theory, players should not get stuck at one point without having something else to do. When discussing bosses, Powers mentioned that when people see a boss appear in Crimson Desert, they often think this game is a Souls-like. He stressed this is not the case. According to him, Souls-like games follow a very specific design, while Crimson Desert focuses more on combo-based combat and allows players to control the pace of fights. While Crimson Desert includes skill checks that require players to learn proper combat, Powers clarifies that the game offers many ways to improve your character and make difficult encounters easier. This ensures that while battles may be challenging, they remain accessible, preventing players from ever getting hard stuck. However, he stresses that this accessibility does not mean the game is easy. This is a good point to mention as well, that they did confirm in this interview there is only one difficulty mode. So there is no scaler. And I like that personally. I like that the game will have its challenge, but just like, say, in Elden Ring, there is a way around it. Go get your artifacts or go do something else and you can come back here later. I like that sort of design. It's funny how incredibly popular Souls-like games have really become, because again, anytime people see a boss fight and it's not a turn-based game, it's just like, I always say, the industry's brain has been completely broken by incredible Souls-like games where, again, they see the lock-on, the health bar, and a boss attacking you. It's third-person game. They go, oh, okay, Souls-like, right? But boss fights have been around for a while, and with this game's kind of focus on combo-based combat, a lot more deeper fighter game style combat, I really think that this is kind of harkening back to that older, earlier 2000s kind of PS2 era where you would just slap the boss around if you had the skill to do so. And I think that also sounds great. For me, the main thing when they're talking about difficulty, that's what I've been looking to hear, because I want this amazing looking combat system where I can catapult myself over a wall and use myself as a cannonball. I love that stuff. I love that creativity. I love that freedom. I just want it to be where it's not a Muso game where I'm just wiping all these enemies out. That's satisfying for one particular reason, where this looks like a combo system with all the bells and whistles that I want the game to have, those fights that can pull it out of me. But I also like that there's the freedom of, hey, I put in the work over here. I might dust a boss that you plan on having it be a lot more tough, a lot more difficult. And I think that is also really cool. So I like what they said about difficulty here. Again, they're singing the right tunes, and no better example of that than here where they write, Powers also confirmed that Crimson Desert will not have microtransactions at launch, functioning as a premium single purchase game. The only additional purchase are the optional pre-order bonuses, which are strictly cosmetic. I think this is a great thing to shore up. I really never considered this game having it, but given its connection to like an MMO and Black Desert Online, but also I've drawn those Ubisoft comparisons before, and Ubisoft has an open world that they've managed to put like live service content into, battle passes into, and cosmetic microtransactions into, weekly drops into. So yeah, I think the fear was a little well-founded here, because that could have been a good catch. Like, this all looks so good, and there's the cash shop. So another one where they have eluded the skeptics again. It's like, okay, no microtransaction shop. This sounds great. I love that that is the transaction between us. I buy the game, I get the game, and that's it. That's all she wrote. I'm curious if this game's going to get like paid DLC. I know there have been rumors about a multiplayer mode, but I feel like if this game does deliver on what we're all hoping it will, this will sell incredibly well, where it's smart to just, again, I think the cash shop was even a part of the plans. I'm sure as they saw momentum building and people starting to believe and interest was growing, I'm sure there was a level of like, even if it was a plan, hey, we don't need this. We really don't. We have a great thing going here. No need to mess it up. So I think this is a good call ultimately. Now, what's interesting is also there was a little conversation about PC mods. As someone who covers a lot of Bethesda and CD Projekt Red games, always love to see developers supporting mods. Larian did that with kind of a built-in mod supporter. Thought that was great. So PC Games End has the headline where Crimson Desert developer is yet to decide on the PC mod support. Here's what they say, quote, historically, this has never been a conversation at the studio. I think it makes sense specifically for the PC audience, and we need to have those conversations about what it looks like post-launch. But I can't guarantee our stance on where we're going to end up from a studio standpoint, on whether we're fully supportive of PC modding, because I don't know. I know historically where we have been because of that live service standpoint, but this is a different conversation, and I don't think we've fully had it yet. Later, he adds, there's enough content to last you at launch, and let's revisit this conversation after launch and we can see, because personally, I don't hate the idea of modding, but does it make sense for this game? Or have we added enough features to allow for someone to do that? Or do you just want to play as Shrek in the world? I don't know. This is coming from someone who has no idea what they're talking about. But man, if you can ever greenlight mods, I always think it's a bonus. It just seems like as at least a player, no one loses. And so I feel like if you want to turn Crimson Desert into Shrek 5, go for it, man. If you want to turn it into a big Star Wars game, go for it. I mean, there's a reason why, say, Bethesda games have always remained in the conversation, why Larian has embraced it, why CD Projekt Red has embraced it. Like, these are really big parts where the community comes together and gives the game constant new waves of life organically, and you get to see what awesome players who are passionate about your game have created, and a lot of these passionate modders become developers. So I feel like it just keeps that cycle repeating over and over. So I hope that they end up greenlighting mods here. But I also understand when they're talking about a game here that you see the gameplay. You've seen them say map size, double Red Dead Redemption 2. We've seen the combo system. We've seen the ambitious crafting systems and town systems and whatnot, the way you manage your free guards. We've seen it all. I do understand a little bit of a wait and see approach. Like, let's see what people really like about our game. But I am very keen to know what those post-launch plans end up looking like. How regularly supported this thing is, because they've called it a premium experience. They've made sure it's known as a single player game. They've ensured, hey, don't think of this like a live product or anything like that. So when those things start cropping up more and more, I'm wondering how many updates do even come to this game. But it's good to know people are hungry for more before we even got a taste of the main course meal. But I'm very eager to see how they handle this post-launch support. But overall, again, another squeaky clean interview information session where I look at everything here and think, okay, this checks out. So I'm excited, man. Like, I'm at that point. I'm excited. Am I like a complete true believer where I'm like, everything's perfect? No, because I want to play the game first. But dude, like, this is all sounding great to me. I love where Crimson Desert's going. I love that they're creating the safe expectations. Like, they have all the hype behind them, but they're like, hey, it's not an RPG. Open world, questing, action adventure, that sort of stuff. And that sounds wonderful to me. As someone who loves RPGs, I'm a big believer that not everything needs to be an RPG. So what do you think of everything that's been shared today about Crimson Desert? Fire away. I'm looking forward to reading your thoughts. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, take excellent care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.
The night is dark and full of theories.
What if Joffrey died in the King's Landing riots? Let's explore the depths of it in the video.
What's the man who threw that? Find who did that and bring him to me!
Sir Boros rushes into the crowd, sword drawn, only to get swarmed by them and torn limb from limb by the starving small folk. Chaos ensues as the Lannisters are swarmed by the peasants, several of the gold cloaks becoming overwhelmed before their weapons are stolen. Armed with their scavenged weapons, the peasants rush toward Joffrey and Sir Mirren. The King's Guard attempts to keep the king away from the rioters, but they're too much for him. Drawing his sword, Joffrey cuts down a pair of peasants before one of them drives his spear through his leg. The king's screams of pain cut off as the peasants started stabbing him with the pilfered spears and bashing his head with rocks. Tommen is swept away by the crowd. Tyrion and Cersei stare at the horrific sight of Joffrey's body being mutilated in front of them. With a wild scream, Cersei tries to rush to her son, but Balon Swan and Mandon Moore hold her back. The queen is weeping uncontrollably as she screams obscenities at them, yelling that she needs to save her son. With a cry of triumph, someone in the crowd raises Joffrey's severed arm to the sounds of cheers right before they display his severed, mangled head. Cersei collapses into a faint at the sight of her son's disfigured face, allowing Sir Meryn to escort her back to the Red Keep. Sword drawn, Balon Swan charges the crowd, trying to at least save some of the king's body, only to have him dragged off into a mass of people. Tyrion glances from side to side, then allows Sir Balon and the other King's Guard to escort him in Cersei's inert form into the Red Keep. After the Hound rescues Sansa, they emerge onto the street to see the crowd parading the body of Joffrey around. Involuntarily, Sansa covers her mouth, then she doubles over and vomits on the ground. Face a mask of impassivity, the Hound pulls her out of sight of the crowd until they pass. The Hound now has a choice. He could take the girl back to the Red Keep, or he could take her back to her family. Seeing the crying girl huddling against him, clearly wanting to protect her, Sandor makes the choice.
Come on, little bird. We're getting out of here.
Through her sobs, she asks where he plans to take her, barely choking out the words.
River Run. It's probably the safest for you there. Anywhere safer than here, but your family is there at least.
Sansa nods eagerly, not needing to be told twice. The two quickly slip out of the city and ride toward the Riverlands. After the news of Joffrey's death reaches Stannis in the Stormlands, he immediately convenes a council of war.
We have a golden opportunity on our hands. With Tywin in the Riverlands fighting against Robb Stark and chaos in the streets after Joffrey's death, King's Landing is ripe for the taking.
We'll have to march quickly to reach the city, and send word to Robb Stark. Offer him the chance to return to the fold so long as he keeps Tywin occupied. Once we take the capital, we'll send troops to catch the old line.
We should send terms to the Tyrells. If we get their support to take King's Landing, we're assured of victory. We'll need to make peace anyway, and who do they have besides Lord Stark?
I would rather eat shoe leather than break bread with the fat flour.
Yes, but if you don't, the Reach will withdraw their food, and I don't think you want to have to deal with the same riots that killed Joffrey. Even with the Storm Knighter troops, it won't be enough to pacify the whole of Fleabottom, let alone the rest of the city.
Fine. Go, but they must bend the knee to me.
After a long milk of the poppy-induced sleep, Cersei wakes up, instinctively clawing at the air as if she were back in the riots. When she realizes that she's back in her room, Cersei clamps her hands over her mouth to stifle her sobs. When she sees a haggard and exhausted-looking Tyrion, she instinctively grabs a mirror from the nightstand and throws it at him. Her aim is off, and it shatters against the wall next to him.
You missed.
Damn you. Did you recover his body at least?
What body? The city is in chaos. We've had to pull everyone back inside the Red Keep, including the Gold Cloaks. He's likely ended up in a pot shop soup by now.
Is that supposed to be funny?
No, just what's likely to have happened. They're starving out there, and I imagine that a king tastes much like chicken.
You're vile and loathsome.
Sorry, but at least Marcella is headed off to Dorne and will be safe there. Oh, and Sansa is gone.
What? Dead?
Someone saw her and the Hound ride through the Rivergate. They're gone off to River Run.
That was our last protection against Robb Stark. He's going to come down on the city and sack it with those northern savages. Wait, where is Tommen? Where is my little boy?
Tyrion looks down at his feet. Cersei's paranoia spikes. Unable to contain herself, she rushes to Tyrion and grabs his lapels.
Where is my son?
Where
is my son, you damned spiteful little monster?
He's vanished. We have no idea where he is. He never made it back to the Red Keep. Tyrek was with him, and
Found dead.
Cersei lets out an animalistic scream and throws her brother back. Tyrion rolls on the ground and tries to get away from his sister's fury, only to have her grab him again and slam him against the wall.
What do you mean my baby boy is gone?
It's as if he vanished off the face of the earth. We tried to send the gold cloaks out to find him, but they were unable to get past a few streets before being driven back.
How could you let this happen? My lion, my boy, your fucking king is dead. You let the Stark bitch escape, and now Tommen is missing somewhere in King's Landing. When father hears about this...
Unable to continue, she drops Tyrion and rushes to her bed, crying uncontrollably. Tyrion quickly flees and calls the small council. They have to summon Tywin back to the capital. If Stannis comes to the capital, he'll find a city in complete chaos with riots still happening in the streets. While the small folk riot through the streets of King's Landing, Littlefinger attempts to take advantage of Renly's death by negotiating with the Tyrells.
With Renly's death, that leaves an opening to ally with the Lannisters against Stannis and Robb Stark. King Joffrey is unmarried, and I would be happy to broker the arrangements.
I would be willing to hear you out. I would, my lord, have come with a message from King Stannis. King's Landing is in chaos. Both King Joffrey and his brother Tommen are dead, and Myrcella is on a ship to Dorne. This man has nothing to offer you, but Lord Stannis can wed his daughter to your son so that your blood be on the throne.
After glancing between the two men, Mace Tyrell has Littlefinger clapped in irons, and the arrangements for the betrothal of Shireen to Willis is put in place. As Littlefinger is dragged away, Marjorie gives him a smile. As Sansa and the Hound make their way toward Riverrun, they encounter Catelyn and Brienne. Overjoyed to finally have her daughter back, Catelyn immediately offers Sandor a place in the Stark household. The Hound accepts, after one pleading look from Sansa. After weeks of continuous rioting, horns rise up from the south. As soon as the people in King's Landing see Stannis' banners, a large group of rioters open the gates, remembering him as a remnant of better days. Tyrion watches in horror as Stannis' men wash over the city, wiping his hands over his eyes. He resigns himself to his impending death, then remembers something. The passage in the Tower of the Hand that Varys had shown him. He could use that to escape, or at least hide in Jatias and ensure that he could smuggle himself out. Not wanting to wait, Tyrion grabs Bronn and Podrick, then escapes into the tunnel. When Stannis breaks into the Red Keep, he finds an irate Cersei screaming at him that her son was dead. What more could they do to her? Seeing that she's gone mad, Stannis has her dragged out and hanged, along with Littlefinger, Pycelle, and any Lannister cronies inside the castle. At the sight of the Queen's dead body, the riots begin to die down, now that justice is done. As soon as Stannis is in control of the city, he has food brought up from the Reach and distributed through King's Landing. Satisfied that everything is under control, Stannis summons his advisors to plan for the coming war. Robb Stark is their first concern.
I'll bloody the lion's muzzle for you, your grace. I imagine that Dorne will likely be happy when you send them Tywin and the Mountain's heads to mount on the walls of Sunspear. Very well. And also, have Paxter Redwine intercept Myrcella. I would rather not allow her to become a nuisance, and have some ships from our fleet ready to transport Robb Stark's forces around Moat Cailin to White Harbor.
News reaches Robb about the fall of King's Landing shortly before news of Theon taking Winterfell. However, he also receives word that Sansa and the Hound have arrived at Riverrun. Rather than leave this to chance, Robb moves further into the Westerlands to draw Tywin into a trap. When the Old Lion gets word of Renly seizing the capital, he immediately retreats back to the Westerlands ahead of the Tarly forces moving toward him. Once the Old Lion crosses the Golden Tooth, he makes a rush toward Casterly Rock. Pleased that the Old Lion has taken the bait, Robb prepares to ambush the Lannisters. When Tywin attempts to march toward Casterly Rock, he finds a host of Northmen astride his line of march with no way to get around them. After addressing the battlefield, he realizes that the enemy has put themselves in an ideal position with high hills on either side to prevent being flanked, and then behind him are the banners of Tyrell and Tarly. They've trapped him, and now the only way is to try to fight his way to the rock. In a rush, the Westerman attacks the Northmen, only to be repulsed over and over as the narrow gap continues to hold. Finally, Tywin commits his full force to the attack. Once he does, the trap springs. The Tarly forces hit him from behind, along with the Northmen who'd been concealed in the hills to the north near Ashmark, Robb and Greywind at their head. Roaring with fury, the Mountain rushes towards Robb, but the Great John and the Blackfish intercept the giant. The Great John's greatsword smashes into the Mountain's blade, while the Blackfish attacks from the sides, causing the Mountain to back away. Finally, Brendan manages to land a blow on Gregor's leg, allowing the Great John to drive his sword through the Mountain's neck. With no escape and surrounded on three sides, the Westermen attempt to fight their way free, only to be slaughtered by the Northmen. Adam Marbrand is ridden down by Jason Mallister. Sir Forley Prester is pulled from his horse and butchered by the Mormon men. But as it becomes clear there's no escape, they begin to surrender. Tywin himself is apprehended by Mark Piper and brought before Robb.
Lord Tywin, it seems as though this is the end. So, are you going to take me hostage? Ransom me for an inordinate sum?
No, we're going to extinguish even the memory of you, Lord Tywin. Your grandsons are dead. Your daughter is dead. I've already sent word to Riverrun to prepare to execute your son. And today, I'm going to kill you.
True to his word, as soon as the gallows can be erected, Robb has Tywin hanged at the narrow pass with a sign around his neck declaring winter had come for House Lannister. Once the battle is over and the prisoners are divided between North and Tarly forces, Robb meets with Lord Randall.
Lord Tarly, I was surprised to see you come to our aid.
I hadn't been on a lion hunt before, and I must admit, I wished to see the young wolf in action. I've heard a great deal about you and that beast of yours, and you've lived up to your reputation. I imagine you'll be wanting your father's sword back. We also have brought his bones.
Thank you for returning both to me, Lord Tarly. The North won't forget this. So what are the terms for helping you?
King Stannis is willing to accept your independence, but you will have to earn it. You've done one part already, but there is one other thing you must do. Nothing too onerous. I'm willing to go with you on a kraken hunt and drive the Ironborn out of the North, and then from there you can use the Red Wine Fleet to purge the Ironborn.
Very well. I can agree to those terms.
Before you accept, this is not going to be a simple subjugation of the Ironborn as been done before. It is King Stannis' intent to decimate them so that they never attempt to raid the Seven Kingdoms again. All of House Greyjoy must die, and anybody who holds their so-called old way will need to be purged. Do you have the stomach for that kind of butchery, young wolf?
Theon Greyjoy betrayed me and took Winterfell. Very well. The Ironborn will be broken, as you've said.
Good man. I look forward to working with you, young wolf. I haven't been to war in a long time, and even then, it wasn't nearly long enough. Heartsbane thirsts to be used rather than simply hanging on my wall.
With terms decided, Robb and Randall set out for Riverrun. On the way, they encounter Arya, Hot Pie, and Gendry. Robb pulls his little sister into a hug, then gifts her and the other two horses, including taking Hot Pie and Gendry into his service after Arya advocates for them. When the army reaches Riverrun, Robb is overjoyed to see Catelyn and Sansa ride out to meet him. Now that there's no reason to keep Jaime alive, Robb grants Rickard his request and lets him kill the Kingslayer. Once the Kingslayer is dead, Robb, the Blackfish, and Randall plan to retake the north. Stannis will provide ships to bring Robb to White Harbor, and then from there, he and Randall can start driving out the Ironborn. After they settled on a plan, they march up to the Twins where Robb can fulfill his marriage pact with Walder Frey. Once Walder presents his daughter, Robb selects Rosalind, as she's not only pretty, but kind and sweet. Also, Greywind likes her, even wagging his tail when she strokes his head. After he and Rosalind are married, they begin their march north. While the Northmen prepare to retake their kingdom from the Ironborn, the Royal and Red Wind fleets capture the ship that had been taking Marcella to Dorne. However, rather than finding the princess, they find nothing. Furious that he doesn't have a hostage to ensure Kevin's good behavior, Stannis sends men out to discover where the girl had gone. Tyrion, Bronn, and Podrick arrive in Pentos in the evening to see Varys with a pair of blonde children waiting for them. Eagerly, Tyrion rushes toward the children and lets them wrap their arms around him.
Thank you, Varys. I appreciate you doing this.
Don't thank me yet. I have need for you and these children.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
What?
No. I'm taking my nephew and niece somewhere that they can be safe. I imagine Daenerys Targaryen or someone else will be willing to give us asylum so long as I can provide good service.
That was exactly what I was hoping you'd say.
Were you?
Yes. Let's go find her. There's likely a place for you in her service. She'll need a capable administrator at her side.
Once the ships arrive near the neck, Robb and Randall load half of their men and horses into the fleet and disembark on the other side of Moat Cailin. When Victarion sees that he's surrounded, the Ironborn captain tries to fight, only to have an army of Northmen spring up from the swamps and clamber up the walls, even as their compatriots rush the unprotected northern side of the castle. Desperately, Victarion crashes into the Northmen, only to be met by Randall Tarly holding Heartsbane. Raising his axe, Victarion attacks the Lord of Hornhill in a mad fury. Grinning beneath his helmet, Randall meets the Iron Captain's sword to axe until finally he brings Heartsbane onto the shaft of the enemy's weapon, breaking the head off. The Iron Captain's head follows the fallen axe head. Once the Ironborn flee or surrender, Robb and Randall stand on the wall of the castle looking down at the defeated raiders as the army marches through the neck unopposed.
A pleasing battle indeed, Robb. It's been a long time since I've felt that alive. I thank you for the opportunity. You're very welcome. You fought like a madman out there. That wolf of yours is quite the beast. I'd rather not go up against it. So, shall I take care of the prisoners, or shall you? There aren't any valuable lords amongst them since Victarion Greyjoy is dead. I don't think King Stannis has any use for them. Oh, I'm not intending to send them south. I'm going to use them as an example of what happens when they attempt to invade the Seven Kingdoms. Do you think that kind of example will work? When you look at the history of the Ironborn, the only thing that kept them in line was the dragons. They had a resurgence of the old way under the Red Kraken, and under Balon, they tried to bring that way of life back. The only language these animals understand is violence. So you mean to just kill them all? Even the women and children? King Robb, these raiders are beasts in human form. You've seen that they're treacherous scum. You tried to deal with them in good faith. They responded by invading your home because of Balon Greyjoy's petty hatred of your father. If you don't purge the notion of the old way out of them, they're going to come back. If we don't leave a lasting remembrance of the consequences of what happens when they try the old ways on Westeros, they'll keep doing this. What about a compromise? We don't have to kill all the Ironborn, just render them unable to raid. They can't do that if they're scattered across Essos and Westeros. At least the ones that believe in the old ways. But I have to admit, it'll be significantly easier than simply butchering them. Alright, we'll simply kill Balon and anyone else who shares his worldview.
A matter that also was discussed is Robb's succession. Though he's married to Rosalind, Theon has Brandon Rickon. When asked about who might be a good choice aside from the boys, Robb has only one answer.
My brother, Jon. He's a bastard, but he's loyal. I can simply release him from his Night's Watch vows and bring him back from the wall. He sets a dangerous precedent to do that, Your Grace. If a man is sent to the wall and a king can bring him back, then what is the point? My brother committed no crime. He went to serve willingly. Besides, he's not the only man I trust. And isn't trust the best maker for an heir? You may be right, but I would advise you not to. I won't be able to help you if the choice to take him out of the watch backfires on you. I'll take that chance. If we want to kill these prisoners, then we should do it now. I'll let you do the honors if you wish.
Grinning savagely, Randall draws Heartsbane and starts the grisly work of executing the Ironborn. After a few days, they arrive at Winterfell and surround the castle. After a brief parley where Theon threatens to kill Bran and Rickon if they attack, Robb and Randall are forced to pull back. However, despite claiming to have the boys, Theon doesn't bring them out. Robb and Randall sit in the command tent discussing possible options for how to retake Winterfell. One thing that stands out to them is the fact that Theon hasn't shown them Bran and Rickon. Could they have escaped, or perhaps be hiding within Winterfell? After hours of careful deliberations, they decide on a plan. Several Crannogmen clamber up the walls and slip into the castle, killing the few sentries remaining, then open the gates from the inside. Once the gates are open, the Northmen and Tarly forces ride into Winterfell and retake it. The Ironborn attempt to fight, but they're quickly slaughtered, along with a man named Reek that Roose identifies as his bastard Ramsay after the battle is over. Greatjon and Rickard Karstark drag Theon out to the courtyard where Robb is waiting with ice.
Robb, I'm sorry. I didn't have a choice. No choice. You always have a choice, and you made the choice to betray me. You were my brother, Theon. We were bound in blood, if not by blood. I wanted you at my side. I took on the Lannisters, and then you sided with them. What did you expect me to do? Your father took me from my house, away from my family. Your family are a brood of vipers and raiders. Balon Greyjoy is a sack of horse shit with no honor. If you want to side with someone like that, rather than the family that treated you like one of them, then you've chosen your fate.
With a single blow, Robb raises ice and decapitates Theon. Rosalind sees Robb's anguish over killing Theon and walks up to him. Robb glances down at her hand, then gives it a squeeze. After a search of Winterfell, they discover Bran and Rickon in the crypts, along with their direwolves, Osha and Hodor. Shaking with emotion, Robb pulls his little brother into his arms, then introduces them to Rosalind. Both boys immediately take to the Frey girl, and they're wolves like her as well. Catelyn embraces her sons and reunites them with their sisters. Now that his family is finally safe, Robb settles them in Winterfell before riding out to drive the Ironborn out. He divides his army between his best generals to hit the Ironborn's pilfered castles. Deepwood Motte falls, then Torrhen's Square is liberated, and soon only the Ironborn in the north are dead. Before Robb can start preparations to attack the Iron Islands, the news from the Wall arrives informing them about the Wildling host. Knowing that the Night's Watch cannot face a horde that size, Robb and Randall ride north. When they do, they find Jon Snow leading the defense of the Wall with the leavings of the Night's Watch. Already, there are several Wildling bodies on the inner courtyard of Castle Black. Jon is walking back toward the main keep, tears flowing down his cheeks.
Jon, is this your work? Are you all right? Robb, you came to help? Of course, Jon. Have you been crying? Yes. I've lost a few friends. I just want to be alone.
Robb is about to press Jon further, but Jon glances at Randall and shakes his head. Seeing Jon's meaning, Robb doesn't press the issue, instead asking him for a report of what had been going on at the Wall. After hearing the whole story of him defecting from the Wildlings, climbing the Wall, and burning the Wildling raiders while they tried to take Castle Black, even Randall is impressed by Jon's ingenuity and his ability to hold the Wall with minimal resources.
Now I see why you wanted him released from his vows. This lad's wasted up here on the Wall.
Thank you, but I'm needed here. There's something coming. Something worse than the Wildlings. Only a few weeks ago, a dead man got up and tried to kill Jael Mormont. And there are a number of survivors from an attack on the Fist of the First Men by an army of the undead.
But are you joking with me? Surely
I wouldn't lie to you, Lord Tarly. I have several witnesses who survived it, and the mutiny that took Lord Commander's life. I also want to tell you that your son Sam was there and actually killed a White Walker.
Samwell, surely you're not serious.
You want to talk to the witnesses? I'll be able to prove what I've said.
Wonders never cease, evidently. Well, I'm impressed. So we have to face the Wildlings and the undead.
Possibly. But I think with your army on the other side of the Wall, they'd be willing to come to terms so long as they come beyond the Wall. Currently they only have about 50,000 fighting troops, with that number again in terms of women and children.
Are you seriously suggesting letting those barbarians through the walls?
Lord Tarly, you're a practical man. Would you rather have 50,000 allied troops who would be very thankful for you allowing them to through the Wall, with women and children to help farm unoccupied areas of the north, or another 100,000 undead troops that will fight for you? He has a point. From a practicality standpoint, we can't risk the Wildlings joining this undead army.
It is a good argument, but I want proof before I allow Wildlings through the Wall.
Now that they're agreed, Jon, Robb, and Randall ride out to meet with the Wildlings. After some negotiation, Mance is willing to accept their terms to get through the Wall, so long as they're able to find proof of the dead being out there. Once they come to an agreement, Robb sends several supply carts with food through the Wall as a sign of goodwill. One thing that the Wildlings ask is that they take the few Wildlings at Hardhome south, since they're vulnerable to attacks from the dead. Despite grumblings from Randall Tarly, the three of them ride to Eastwatch and send a raven to gather ships to transport the Wildling civilians at Hardhome south. After Randall Tarly leaves, Robb puts his hand on Jon's shoulder.
You going to tell me why you were crying? There was a girl among the Wildlings, Robb. A girl I loved, and now she's dead. It might even have been my arrow that killed her, defending the Wall. I'm sorry, Jon. Tell me what happened.
Swallowing, Jon tells Robb everything about him and Ygritte, how he'd fallen in love with the girl, how he'd almost died when the Wildlings had told him to kill a farmer to prove himself, and finally how he just watched her die. Once he finishes, Robb gives his brother a hug, offering what little comfort he can. When the two Stark boys arrive at Hardhome and start evacuating them onto ships, a figure wearing a tattered wolfskin cloak and ragged Night's Watch attire watches them from the outcropping above the settlement. The Corpse Lord, former 13th commander of the Night's Watch, allows a smile to cross his lips as his undead direwolves sit next to him. He still wore the iron crown he'd worn in life as King of the Wall, and soon he would bring death to those who had robbed him of his kingdom.
Well, a pair of wolf cubs have wandered north. We should give them a proper welcome.
The screams coming from the other side of the fortifications reach Robb and Jon right before the storm starts to rise. Jon exchanges looks with Robb and Randall and rushes to the fortifications to take a look at what's coming. As they do, they see an army of undead animals mixed with several White Walkers chasing after the free folk, charging toward the makeshift fort.
Let them through, quickly! Get ready to close the door as soon as the last person comes through. Lord Randall, get your men to set everything on fire and get fire arrows ready.
You heard the bastard.
Get my damn bow. Great John, Small John, Lord Karstark, smash anything made of wood and set fire to it.
Without hesitation, the Northman lords quickly rush to the buildings and start breaking them apart and making makeshift torches. Once they set fire to the many of the houses and set up makeshift braziers in front of the archers as they start loosing flaming arrows into the undead, Randall Tarley raises his bow and fires over and over again into the enemy, over the heads of the fleeing wildlings. Finally, the leader of the White Walkers comes into view, his wolfskin cloak swirling in the wind, a pair of huge undead direwolves prowling at his side. Smiling, the Corpse Lord slashes down a few of the fleeing wildlings, his icy blade sending blood flying onto the snow. As the dead are about to crash into the gates, the Tarley men shove the gates closed. Silently, the dead attempt to push their way through, but the defenders shove torches into the gap, setting fire to the dead and causing them to back away long enough for the wildlings to close the gates and put the bar on the door. Now that they've bought some time, the defenders rush forward to the ships, though the archers continue to loose fiery arrows into the ranks of the dead. However, the dead claw their way through the wooden walls, swarming toward the wildlings. The two biggest holes are created by a pair of cave bears smashing through their wood. The living use the burning buildings as choke points to keep the dead from swarming them, but the sheer weight of the numbers begins to overwhelm them. As the palisaded walls break, the Corpse Lord walks into Hardhome, flanked by his undead direwolves. Cloak swirling around him, the Corpse Lord raises his blade to point at Rob and John.
Wolf pups, come and face me. I haven't had a worthy prey come north in a long time.
John draws Longclaw with one hand and holds a torch in the other. Rob pulls ice from the sheath on his back, hefting the sword with both hands. Ghost and Greywind bare their fangs at the undead direwolves, who simply prowl silently toward their living counterparts. Before they can engage the Corpse Lord, Randall grabs Rob's shoulder and advises him to retreat. Rob protests, but Randall insists. They're outmatched, and that thing wants the Stark boys. As the Corpse Lord approaches, Randall throws a torch at one of the wolves, causing it to catch fire and run away, spreading the fire amongst the dead. John follows the Lord of Hornhill's example and sets fire to a barrel and sets flames in the way before running. The Corpse Lord watches the two boys run away, then kicks aside the barrel and continues his advance. Rob and John jump into one of the rowboats, even as the wildlings hurl themselves into the water and start swimming through the icy water toward the ships. Several sink, paralyzed by the cold, while others are cut down by the dead. John and Rob stare at the slaughter happening before them, the free folk they'd come to save being murdered as they attempted to flee. His wolfskin cloak swirling around him, the Corpse Lord walks onto the makeshift dock, a direwolf pair flanking him like silent blue hound eyes. Raising his arms, he reanimates the dead bodies, causing them to rise to their feet in a silent mass. Rob and John stare at the horde, breath coming in spurts.
You'll have to face me at some point, wolf pups. You can't run forever.
When they finally reach the ship, Rob, John, and Randall meet in the main cabin. Now that all doubt is removed, Randall is now willing to support the plan to move the wildlings south of the wall, rather than add them to the army of the dead. Once they reach Eastwatch, they send ravens to Castle Black, allowing the wildlings through the wall, and to King Stannis in the south. When news reaches Stannis, he immediately begins mobilizing for war against the dead. The Corpse Lord rides all along the north, gathering any dead that he can for the assault on the wall. Soon his master arrives with a large force of undead soldiers. The Night King gives his faithful lieutenant an impassive look, then nods to the Corpse Lord. Satisfied that he has his master's approval, the Corpse Lord turns his troops toward the wall. John, Rob, and Randall sit atop the wall, watching as thousands of Stannis' troops advance towards them. Randall has Heartsbane across his knees, while Rob leans ice against his shoulder. Casually, John cleans Longclaw as Ghost and Greywind flick their tails. The three men sit and drink in silence as the king approaches. After informing Stannis of the disaster at Hardhome, the king lines the wall with his troops, braziers ready for fire arrows. When the dead arrive at the wall, the Corpse Lord rides up to it, grinning at the leaders of Westeros, though his eyes linger on John and Rob.
You've created quite the conundrum for yourselves, wolf pups. Without the free folk beyond the wall, the protections binding it together will weaken. Give them back, and you won't have to deal with our army. We require them to supply us with children in order to ensure that our race continues. We aren't going to trade the wildlings for peace. If you want them, you'll have to come and get them. You are bold, wolf pup. I applaud your courage, but you're not going to stop us. What if we make a wager? Me or my brother against you in a duel for the fate of the wildlings. If we lose, you can have a set of sacrifices per year. But if we win, you have to be content with your icy domain.
The Corpse Lord considers it for a moment, then glances at the Night King. To his surprise, the King of the Dead simply nods his agreement. John takes a deep breath, glancing down at the two figures. Chuckling, the Corpse Lord draws his sword and points it at John.
The boy with the white wolf shall be the one to face me. What's your name, lad?
Jon Snow.
Well then, Jon Snow. You have a strange smell about you. The hints of fire. Your pelt will be a fine addition to my collection.
Laughing, the creature rides back to the dead. Without warning, Stannis rounds on Robb. Greatjon steps between them, so Stannis simply glares at the young wolf.
You're risking this whole war on your bastard brother's skill with a sword. Are you crazy?
It's a gamble either way, but this way at least we have a chance. That army is massive, and we don't have the luxury of conventional tactics. They won't break, and any time our men die, they're going to gain troops. Besides, it's not only the wildlings we're risking.
That's still insane. Who's to be sure they'll keep their word, even if the champion is defeated?
Didn't I say it was a gamble? But it's the best one we have.
Fine. You better not lose, Snow.
John swallows and nods, then descends toward the lift, followed by Robb, Stannis, and Randall. The gate opens, allowing the 4 men and the 2 direwolves to emerge on the other side, fear spiking inside him. John hands the sheathed longclaw to Robb so he can draw the sword from the scabbard and leave the sheath with his brother. Swallowing, John walks forward with his sword in his hand, the blade that Jorah Mormont had given him. Iron crown speckled with frost, the Corpse Lord strides confidently towards him. The captain of the dead, the traitor of the wall, the Night King's champion fixes his gaze on John with a predatory expression on his face. His icy sword spins through his fingers, making a strange sound as it cuts the air. Licking his lips, John walks within a few yards of his foe.
I do love the smell of fear, and you are rank with it, Wolf Pup.
My father always said that a man can't be brave unless he's afraid.
I suppose that I've never been truly brave. Fear is a weakness that I've never experienced.
That was your downfall, if I remember correctly. You weren't smart enough to know fear.
Growling, the Corpse Lord attacks, icy blade darting toward John. A high-pitched ring fills the air as Longclaw strikes the Corpse Lord's blade. John blocks high, low, and then to the side, trying to get a sense of his opponent's pattern. Robb, Randall, and Stannis watch as John and the Corpse Lord battle for life and the fate of the free folk.
That monster is fast. I've never seen anyone with that kind of speed.
It's not perfect, though. I don't know this creature is used to fighting an opponent with a weapon. Watch how his face twists when the blades meet.
Sure enough, Robb watches. Despite John being able to barely keep ahead of the Corpse Lord, the creature seems frustrated that John's sword doesn't break. Maybe there was hope after all. Stannis folds his arms and glares at the duel, eyes fixed on the dark-haired bastard and the ancient king of the wall. Abruptly, the Corpse Lord's sword lances forward and nicks John's arm, causing the bastard to clutch at the wound. However, he keeps hold of his sword and continues to deflect his opponent's sword. Another strike hits John's side, causing cold to start spreading through him. Another strike grazes his cheek. For a moment, he thinks he's going to succumb to the pain, but something whispers in his ear. You may not have my name, and you know nothing, Jon Snow. The memory of Ygritte and his father sparks something inside Jon, a primal rage almost akin to a dragon roaring up in his mind. Roaring, Jon rushes to the Corpse Lord and unleashes a series of aggressive strikes. Smile vanishing, the Corpse Lord attempts to block Jon's strikes, but Jon's sword is moving almost too fast for him. Finally, Jon slides past the creature's guard, nicking the Corpse Lord's arm. Hissing in pain, the Corpse Lord slashes at Jon, but Jon ducks right at the last second and slashes him across the stomach. With a scream, the Corpse Lord collapses into a pile of frost, causing the undead direwolves and several of the whites to fall down like a pair of puppets. Fighting through the pain, Jon raises Longclaw and points it at the Night King, unable to speak from the pain of his injuries. Face impassive, the Night King gazes at Jon, then turns his horse and rides away toward the north. Shaking from the cold, Jon drives Longclaw into the ground, vision hazing as he tries to hold himself up on the sword. Robb, Randall, and Stannis run to him, catching him as his hands go limp. The three quickly carry Jon back to the wall to Maester Aemon as the old man can treat the boy. Jon wakes up in a warm room in Castle Black. Grunting, he glances down at the icy wound on his arm. The closest comparison he could think of was look as if he'd been struck by a brand. In the mirror to his left, he sees that his cheek has a strange spiderweb pattern right under his mouth, John tries to get up, but a chubby hand stops him.
Don't get up, John. You've been asleep for a couple of days. For a bit there, we thought you were dead. But you're all right now. You did it. Your brother and King Stannis have been visiting every day to make sure you're all right. Everyone's waiting out there for you. They all saw you fight the White Walker.
All right. Help me up.
Sam dutifully allows John to put his arm around the boy's shoulders, using Longclaw as a crutch. As soon as John emerges from the tower, the armies of the living start cheering for the champion. John smiles and holds up Longclaw, causing the cheers to redouble. Robb and Stannis walk up to John and clap him on the shoulder.
Well done, brother.
Indeed. Is there a boon that you would ask for your service, Jon Snow? Anything you want is yours.
John considers. He remembers how Robb had said he'd never be Lord of Winterfell. He could ask for that. He could ask to marry the king's daughter. He could ask to be named heir. But were those things he wanted? When he thinks about it, all he really wants is to have Ygritte back. Taking a deep breath, John looks up at Stannis.
Your Grace, if I could be legitimized as Jon Stark, released from my vows and allowed to go home to my family and serve my brother as one of his bannermen, I'd be content. And I want a castle that isn't being used so that I can start my own house.
Stannis stares at John, clearly amazed. Robb puts his arm around John's shoulder.
I want you to be my right hand, John. Nobody will gain you. Any castle you want, any girl you want, it's yours. Admittedly, they'll likely need to be beaten away by a stick.
Well, there's one last thing. I'd like Sam to be released from his vows and made heir to Hornhill.
Done. Lord Tarley, if you have any protests, you'd best leave them unsaid.
Randall shrugs, happy to accept the request considering Sam's feats. Sighing, John smiles and relaxes. Once John is ready to travel, the army rides down to Winterfell for the celebration of the defeat of the White Walkers, cheers rising for the young wolf and his brother, the White Wolf. The new lord of the Hornwood lands, Queen Rosalind welcomes her husband and his brother, along with King Stannis and his court. Catelyn's fingernails dig into her palms as John rides into the castle next to her son. Unable to bear it, she walks to her rooms and locks herself in. Many of the lords and ladies attempt to try and introduce their daughters to John, but they're coming in so hard and fast that he quickly becomes overwhelmed. To his surprise, an austere-looking lady walks in the gaggle of girls, causing them to back away. Barbary Dustin, the widow of Barrowton, gives John an assessing look, then makes a shooing gesture toward the girls and the lords.
Since you clucking hens and yammering jackdaws are clearly never going to be finished hounding the lad, I'd like to rescue this clearly concerned-looking wolf cub for a chat. Do you mind? No? Good.
Sighing in relief, John allows Lady Dustin to escort him to a nearby table and sits down. Something about her draws his attention. She's more handsome than beautiful, but there's a confidence in her that reminds him of Ygritte, just matured and more caustic. Curious, Ghost prowls over to her. Not taking her eyes off John, Lady Dustin stares, stroking Ghost's head, causing him to nuzzle up to her. As she continues to pet the direwolf, Lady Dustin gives John a penetrating look with her dark eyes.
So, you're this champion of Westeros everyone is talking about. I expected you to be a bit taller, honestly. That scar does have a striking effect, though.
Thank you for the candid assessment of my physical features.
You're quite welcome. So what now? You're the most famous man in Westeros, slayer of the Commander of the Dead, and all of the other rather burdensome titles that come with it.
Well, I'm still trying to get used to it. I expected to live and die on the wall, never meet a girl, and only be around my sworn brothers. Now I'm a lord with a reputation. It's rather intimidating.
Oh, so you're one of the humble ones, like your father, or is it just a mask for more prosaic motives?
Well, I see your reputation for having a tongue as sharp as Valyrian steel is deserved.
I'm a bitter and rather caustic widow who's bored, and you're an anomaly that I find mildly diverting. Namely because we're to be neighbors, distant neighbors, but neighbors nonetheless. Also, you represent a strange paradox. Ned Stark's bastard. I knew Ned Stark. It must have been quite the woman that made him forget his honor. But there's nothing to tell who your mother might have been from your face, since you look so much like him. More than your brothers and the older girl.
I wish I knew. But he took that to his grave.
I was angry at him, you know. He never brought back my husband's bones from Dawn, though he did bring back his horse. The best one in my father's herds. I was never able to find the bones and bring them back, and yet he brought back your sister's bones.
I didn't know that. I'm very sorry.
Life is full of those kinds of disappointments, my young lordling. I wanted to marry your Uncle Brandon, but your father decided to marry him off to Catelyn because of advice from his grey rat maester, and then he died.
We're not that different, actually. There was a girl that I loved, but she died. We were on opposite sides of the War of the Wall, and she died because of me.
Well, you are your father's boy after all. Well, I will say that your brother putting an end to Ramsay Snow has softened some of the resentment. Your father didn't bring my husband's bones back, but at least he didn't kill my nephew like that filthy animal.
Lady Dustin, is there a way we might be able to repair the rift between our houses?
Oh, I very much doubt you can give me what I've wanted. That time is dead and gone, John Stark.
Well, you were robbed of a Stark, and I'm in need of a lady. Why not fix both our problems? We can rule the Hornwood and Barrowton together. The wildlings need somewhere to settle, and there's quite a bit of open country that they can settle, and create towns and farms.
Ghost stiffens as her hand stops stroking him, and she stares at John, eyes narrowing. John simply meets her gaze with his own. Finally, a smirk quirks the corner of Barbary's hard mouth.
You're very bold, John Stark, and you're ambitious. That is interesting indeed. So you aim to court a widow famed for her bitterness against your father. A daring task indeed. I can't decide whether you're brave or foolhardy. You don't see how that could put you in any danger.
Well, that just makes it more fun. Also, I think you've had too much amusement watching all the girls in the north look at you with envy to arbitrarily get rid of me.
Oh, you're devious. I like that. All right then, let's play this little game out then, John Stark. I hope you realize I'm not going to be as overawed by your reputation, your direwolf and your Valyrian steel sword as those other ladies. You're going to have to actually impress me. I warn you, I have very high standards.
Don't worry. You meet mine, so I don't think we'll have any problems.
You're sweet, which is not a trait I hold in high regard.
You've got a strength about you and a wit that makes me like you, Lady Dustin. You're also willing to see me as who I am. I much prefer that to a girl who just sees me as some hero out of a story. Honestly, you weren't what I originally wanted, since you don't have red hair or a pug nose.
To John's surprise, Barbarly laughs, rubbing her nail under her chin as she examines him. Everyone in the hall turns toward them, but Barbary just looks at John, remembering that he'd faced the Corpse Lord. John simply meets her gaze. Finally, Barbary strokes the scar under John's eye, then gently kisses his cheek.
It's actually a good thing you have that scar, Wolfwing. You'd be too pretty otherwise. Count that laugh as victory. It's rare for someone to actually do that.
With that, Barbary stands up and walks away, though she gives Ghost one final scratch under the chin before walking away. Looking concerned, Robb walks over to John and puts his hand on his brother's shoulder.
John, are you all right? Are you in trouble? No. I think I've decided to start courting Lady Dustin. Barbary Dustin? What in the seven hells? Are you daft? Does she know you mean to try your luck with her? Yes, she does. I take it back. You're not in trouble. You're dead where you stand. Well, I don't know. It just felt right. You're mad, John. You're totally insane. Fine. It's your life, not mine.
Throwing up his hands, the king in the north walks off to rejoin his queen. Chuckling, John reaches down and pets Ghost. Once the ships arrive, Robb and John join Stannis in breaking the Ironborn. After Balon and the rest of the Greyjoy loyalists are dead and a less radical ruler replacing them, they return to the north. On the way home to the Hornwood, John pays a visit to Barrowtown, inviting Lady Dustin to come visit him in his new castle. The lady accepts, and they often walk in the Hornwood, Godswood, simply talking and learning from each other. She might have a cynical view of the world, but she's fiercely loyal, is very intelligent, and has a surprising sense of humor. For her part, Barbary finds John to be honest, and just as sharp as she is. Often they match barbs with each other, with both of them laughing at the end of each verbal sparring match. And though she's loath to admit it, Barbary is flattered that a young man like John wanted to pursue her, and impressed when she doesn't scare him off. One day after some time has passed, as John and Barbary talk during a walk in the burrows near Moat Cailin, John plants a kiss on the Lady of Barrowtown, asking her to marry him. In her usual caustic way, the widow of Barrowton accepts. The two are married in the Hornwood Godswood, with John's family looking on. To everyone's amazement, both Rosalind and Barbary announce that they are pregnant. Prince Eddard Stark and Domeric Stark are born within minutes of each other, and who was born first is often the subject of debate between the King in the North and his brother. Often the Lord and Lady of Hornwood travel to Winterfell so that the two boys can build relationships with each other. Their marriage lasts for almost 3 decades when Barbary suddenly takes ill. Despite all efforts, Barbary passes away with Jon at her side, a slight smile on her severe face. After her passing, Jon asks that his wife be buried in the Winterfell crypts, which Robb grants. Every year, Jon and Domeric go down into the crypts to visit her tomb to remember the lady who saw the man behind the legend, Jon Stark. That's our theory. Westeros is a land filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you'd like to join us on this journey across the 7 kingdoms and beyond, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
The night is dark and
Hi guys, it's another episode of Allcraft. Hello, we're back again. And guess what? We haven't gotten the house yet, but we have the next best thing. This random Victorian, hotel room that Rich picked out that looks like it should have a sign in front of it that says no colors allowed. What were you thinking? What were you thinking?
You know damn well what I was thinking, brother.
Yeah, damn right. Oh, yeah.
Had to make sure. Does that have a little pointed hood on it?
No,
It came with the
unfortunately,
room.
they took that button part off.
Oh,
Gotta find
man.
that in the closet.
I googled swanky room.
Swanky room,
Yeah.
Austin, Texas.
Yeah, it was like,
oh boy,
it was the first thing that popped up. Dude,
Yeah.
there's a garden here.
A garden?
Yeah, dude, this is like,
what?
It's a compound.
What the fuck
The
is this?
rooms don't even have numbers. They
So
have names.
I went there and I was like, I walked up and this guy is like, and I was like, I'm like, apparently
You
they have
can't
like a-
sleep here, sir.
there's like a valet service and everything, and I was like, what the hell do you mean a I thought this is because I thought the idea was that we were just gonna get a cheap, shitty motel, and it was gonna look like basically that we were like down, like on the run or something like that, or like this is the last episode before you go homeless.
Did you read the group chat?
No.
The group chat literally said,
No.
should I get a rat motel or should I get the craziest looking room I could find?
I just assumed that we were gonna go with the motel because it would be cheap.
Every other person was just like, let's get the crazy room.
Oh,
and then you didn't
God.
answer, so we were like, all right, bro. The thing
Well,
is,
here we
though,
are.
if you said, get the rat
Yes.
motel, everybody would have been like, true, okay. We'd be there right now.
Well,
dude.
now we're here instead, okay?
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I've had like that much.
Yeah,
wine.
he immediately opened up a bottle of wine, and it's one of those fucking things.
I thought
right?
it would be a nice, like, fancy, cool thing to. I'm a lightweight now.
Yeah?
Dude, I can't drink anymore. I don't have enough money. I've been spending it all in gacha games, man.
Well, you've been playing too much of those. You're playing like 3 at a time, 2 or 3 of them at a time.
Slowly have been consumed by just one. I'm not even
Is
kidding.
it really just Genshin?
Right now, basically, I log and do my woo dailies
Holy
really quick.
shit.
Dude, I played the
Why?
whole story. I'm listening to
Why?
lore videos.
What the fuck?
Because I'm gay and retarded.
What the fuck?
Dude,
Oh my God,
when the
damn.
game came out, I'll never
Yeah.
forget. I walked up to Soda Poppin',
Yeah.
and he had done a sponsored stream for it, and I
Yeah.
was like, dude, how awesome is this fucking game?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
this
he
is like
hated
the
it,
best
right?
thing. He was like, hey, I made my money, I fucking dipped. Never played again. He's like, leave me alone, don't talk to me. And I think that might be the last time I ever talked to Soda Poppin'. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, no, I'll never stop playing the game. I've come to accept it. And now I'm like, I won't even order food or anything.
Yeah.
Because I go, oh my, like, that's a
you could
constellation.
spend that money. Yeah, you could spend that money. Like if you spend $100, like that's like an extra star on a character, right?
Is that addiction?
Yeah.
I was thinking we
Yeah.
could do an episode where, like,
The thing is that a lot of people downplay the idea of addiction, but addiction can be like a big motivator. Like if you're addicted to something and you want to make a lot of money, or it costs a lot of money, you have to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So like there's people that improve their entire lives because they're addicted to something. Now they also can sometimes like die, but like I mean sometimes there are positive things too.
how many car radios do you think I'd have to rip out for a C6 character? That's a lot of car radios, man.
About 70.
Wait, what's the going rate on car
If you're like, I'd assume if I had to adjust for inflation, $40.
Yeah, but the thing is now how many cars even have them? Like you can't rip out a screen, right?
No, what you do now is
they're taking all the jobs.
They are. There's no, like, honestly, in like 20 years, there's only going to be, I was going to say OnlyFans, but actually they're getting replaced. Have you seen all these AI girls and shit like this?
I'm not convinced my girlfriend's not AI in real life.
I mean, soon it will be.
Yeah.
Right? And like, so that's it. Everybody's going to have an AI. I know, right? And so like, no, it's insane. Like I'll go on Instagram and like half of the fucking Explore page are just fake chicks. And like, this is a man in Pakistan that's setting this shit up, right? I mean, like,
just weird boys, bro. We used to do it for gold. Now we do it for real shekels.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. These guys are making like 10 grand a month selling fake fucking, it's not even real.
Dude, there was this one that actually was farming. This is a few months ago. I don't know if the account still exists. And it was like kind of a theme. Like there were a bunch of accounts doing it. Yeah. It wasn't just like, oh, we're making a fake hot chick. It was, we're going to make, I'm not sure if I can say this. This might be a bad word. If it is, editors, please bleep it out. I'm looking at you, Tyler. It was a nugget. Can you say that?
A nugget?
Can you say nugget? Is nugget hate speech? A person with no limbs? Wait, I don't know. Can you say that?
With the dick?
Okay, I don't know if you can say. Okay, I don't want to be hateful. Okay, so there were a bunch of fake AI accounts of just like limbless.
Oh yes, I saw this, and
and they like roll.
Yes, well, no, it got even better. They had girls, dude. This is the shit that gets you okay. It gets you going to hell. Okay, let me finish the sentence there. It gets you going to hell,
straight to Sheol.
Yes, exactly. So you're going to the 9th circle of hell if you are going and making AI Down syndrome women for OnlyFans, and then all the comments are like, if she's down, I'm down.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
dude. I saw one that was like high on chromosomes or something like that. Like
she's
crazy.
making my short bus longer. Well, this is it, and there's so many of them, and like now it's like it's so popular. It's crazy, and like I'm seeing it, and there's just so many people doing it. You know who I told about this? This is like 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah. Is we were at like a very nice fancy restaurant, and I was sitting next to Dan Clancy. At now
wait, was this 2 years ago or was this 3 years ago?
It might have been 3 years.
I think that was 3. I think I was there. Right?
I don't know, because like I remember it was like me. I was there. Nick was there. Tips was there. Pinto was there.
Oh no, never mind.
And okay, so then I'm sitting next to him, and I was showing him I'm like, have you seen this? Because like they're making like AI characters, and he's like, wait. I'm like, yeah, this is a fake girl. He's like, wait, what? I said, yeah, look at this. He says, wait, she's not real? I said, yeah, no, she's not.
He's like, finally, man. Oh, the accounts only existed for a few days. Young account. That shit is wild, man.
Yeah,
it's actually wild because. Look, what's the point of real people?
Of women.
Yeah, right?
Why? Why?
Look, I like my girlfriend a lot. She watches every episode.
She's great, actually.
She is actually
Rich
great.
was telling me off stream how much that he thought that Mia was great. She really is amazing.
Thanks, bro.
And she's good at cooking.
No, she doesn't know how to cook.
Okay, well, she's great. Okay, yeah.
It's intangibles that are the most
that's
important.
What really matters. It's what's in the heart that matters.
It's the intangibles.
Absolutely.
Yes. No, she is great, right? She is great. She's almost as good as a guy, right? And the thing is, though, is like companionship is one thing.
Yeah.
But that stupid little monkey already proved that we don't even need that. You can just get a stuffed animal. Right?
So yeah, basically, so this is the what's the monkey's name?
Punch.
Punch is his name.
Punch.
And so there's a monkey named Punch. And he had like, what is this? This orangutan stuffed animal, right?
Yeah.
And like he only has this stuffed animal, and he finally put the stuffed animal down to hang out with the other orangutans, and they immediately started beating the shit out of him.
They like pushed him
away.
And
Said,
shit,
get the fuck out of here, you little nerd! You little bitch! Get the fuck out of here!
Go back to your blankie and your baba.
Yeah, go back to your body pillow, you little bitch.
Punch was
absolutely
an apt name.
Yes, and it's like it's crazy that they do that. Like I wonder why they do that.
Because he's a freak.
He's He's got to be a fucking weirdo. Like, I'm not an orangutan. I don't understand this.
Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. I Googled, why did Punch's mother abandon him?
Yeah.
It was the most based Google search I ever had.
But he deserved it.
So she was probably stressed, and it was hot during the summer. And I was like, damn, can you imagine?
Honestly, like, that's understandable, right?
That is like the most, like, Kafka like line ever. The sun was in my eyes, so I killed him. It was hot out. So
it's a bad day.
Fuck my baby.
Yeah.
So he got abandoned because it was hot out. Bitch. He's a bitch.
Sense.
Yeah. If he's not worth more than a hot summer's day, he's not worth that much. Then he goes on.
He's not that big either.
No, he's a little baby ass
in
bitch.
a natural environment, would he be eaten by an anaconda? Of course.
Not even an anaconda, like a garden
like,
snake.
Yeah, just
He's
like a
tiny little,
larger than average snake.
Yeah, look, if he made it after being abandoned, then okay, he's like a Leonidas-esque monkey.
You've made it.
Yeah, which is, that's why nature exists.
Yeah, exactly.
But this dude's
like
addicted to a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
I just feel like everybody's so excited.
There's some monkeys that deserve to die.
Yes.
There are.
Yes.
And it's like if you're really small, you're really skinny, nobody else likes you, your mom doesn't even like you, and you have a body pillow. I mean, come on.
And
what are we doing?
I just think that this monkey is like a microcosm.
I mean, because we know the ones we have like that are people, right?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Dude,
oh my god.
Exactly. I'm so glad that you see it the same way as me. I thought we were going to have a full-on disagreement about Punch.
No.
But I looked at that little monkey and I see everybody getting excited.
And not everybody can be a winner.
Exactly. But you get tricked because it's this cute little fucking fuzzy
That's how
thing,
they get you.
Right? It's fake. It's like oxytocin hijacking. When you actually think about it, though, this is the equivalent of somebody finding like a weird Discord group and then getting accepted, right?
Yeah.
That guy should be bullied.
Right.
He should be.
He is.
Until
they
he's
pushed him around.
No, he got accepted now. They're eating bugs off him now.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's getting groomed.
What the? Oh,
he got accepted by the troop.
Oh, what the fuck?
Not like Epstein groomed. Like he's getting like his hair done.
Well,
I know you've never heard about that type of grooming before.
I know I haven't actually. I haven't cut my hair since before COVID. Not once. I know, pretty easy to believe actually, but never, not even one time.
I haven't got my hair cut in a while either. And I spent all that money on it.
Yeah.
Like getting a hair transplant. It's just, it takes
so
much
worth it?
time.
Was it worth it to get the hair transplant?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Dude,
yeah.
I wanted, here's the issue we have right now. We got to play WoW when it comes out in 2 weeks.
Oh, jeez.
We got to do it for like a day. I think we should do a little LAN party.
I fucking like
you,
that.
me, Fandy.
Yeah.
And we get Brian.
Yeah.
And then we get Fandy's baby, but it's actually McConnell playing.
It's McConnell.
But it's just like the camera's just Fandy's baby crying and shit. It's like, McConnell, why are you crying?
What, you didn't get your loot again? Yeah.
But I think that game will be fun for like 4 hours.
It will. I am not ready. Like, I have not played the War Within at all. Like, I played I leveled up and I played 1 day at max level, and then I was just like, do I really want to do this again? And I was like, no, I do not. I stopped.
I had no fun leveling.
Yeah.
Leveling was really bad, and I don't expect leveling to be good this time. It's just doesn't feel like World of Warcraft anymore. You saw all the shit that they said too, right?
Which one?
Like we're trying to go really be Warcraft for everybody. I wish it wasn't called Warcraft.
They said they wish they didn't call it World Warcraft because it's like, bro, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, remember whenever they tried to change it from BattleNet to BlizzardNet, and then everybody lost their minds and they just changed it back? Like, it's like you're trying to do this. Like, who are you trying to do this for? You want to get these girls that play Animal Crossing to play WoW? Get the fuck out of here.
The thing is, though, they've already done the biggest functionality for girls ever.
Yeah, the making a house.
Which is, dude, that's cool. Like, that's fine. I don't hate that girls like the game. I really fucking don't. The thing is when you just start spitting on the audience that was already there.
Yeah.
I thought that they learned their lesson with Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah, they did.
But, no, they clearly didn't, because they're doing it again, right?
Yeah.
Because with Warlords of Draenor, I mean, think about it. Warlords of Draenor, we've actually disagreed on this in the past. I think the biggest failure of Warlords of Draenor was how big the marketing was, how big the expectations were, and they put all that money there, so there wasn't enough content. And
I think that they thought there was going to be more content because I think all the stuff they cut, right? I mean, they cut an entire raid tier. They cut an entire zone.
Did they cut 2 raid tiers?
They might have, yeah, because like there's probably going to be the Grommash raid, right? Which is like kind of like that was like at the end of Worlds Draenor. It's like it was not really a like Archimonde gets summoned. Who gives a fuck about Archimonde? Why the fuck are we fighting Archimonde again?
What
it was
the
stupid.
It was Highmaul first.
It was Highmaul, Blackrock Foundry, and they were like the same thing. But like one of them, like Highmaul, it really was Highmaul into Blackrock Foundry, but it was like all the same tier. Kind of like how it was like Karazhan and Magtheridon, where like Magtheridon very clearly was like harder than Karazhan.
Was Highmaul? It was like 4 or 5 bosses, right?
6.
It was 6.
Bosses.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It was a very small raid.
Yeah. It was a great raid. Highmaul was a great. I mean, so was Blackrock Foundry. They were both great.
That's the thing with WoD. All of the content that was there, for the most part, there were some things that were missing.
Ashran was stupid. Like the zones, I think were okay.
The leveling was quite good.
The leveling was perfect.
It was some of the best modern WoW leveling.
It was, in my opinion, it was the best expansion for leveling.
And then class design was incredible.
I didn't like Warrior playing in WoD. I liked it way better in Legion.
You didn't like Glad Warrior?
No, I thought it was stupid. It was like okay, work 3 times as hard to do the same damage.
Carpal tunnel warrior.
And yeah, exactly, right? I mean, it was like one second GCD. You had to like line up every heroic strike.
You know what's funny?
It was so garbage.
As a not warrior player,
yeah,
that was the first time I ever tried warrior.
Yeah,
and I had a lot of fun with it.
Oh sure. I mean, like it was like it's a cool idea, but I just didn't really like. I don't know. Like I felt like basically every other expansion, I liked warrior more.
I think they agreed with you, right? Which is why they got rid of it. And I think that your opinion on it as a warrior player is way more valid than the warrior tourist who logged on and played Carpal Tunnel Warrior for Highmaul and then stopped really playing the game. The Demonology Warlock was fantastic. It's actually one of my favorite iterations.
Yeah, I forgot how the fuck it played. Like, it was like some like weird ramping thing, right?
Yes.
And then like you would shoot like these demon bolts that would just do like crazy damage, and everything would be built around that, right?
Dude, I love the fact that you remember it because I off stream and off camera, how many times do I fucking talk about Demon Bolt, WoD, Warlock?
It was really good. Like it was insane. I remember this because the way I remember it is because I'd be at the top of the meter, and then some fucking retard Warlock would hit demon form and they'd go above me and I would get mad.
It was like it wasn't actually 90% of your damage, but the bulk of your damage was in like one Demon Bolt.
Yeah,
every rotation.
It was like the last one, right?
Yeah.
Because each one made it do the next one do more damage.
Ramped. And the whole thing was you were trying to get one more out because it would just do huge damage.
Yeah, with haste.
So it was a cool function of I'm still going to play Warlock. I'm going to get up my dots, and I'm going to kind of play a little bit of Affliction. And then you went into almost an Arcane Mage-esque burst window, and you still utilize Demon Form.
Yeah.
And I think that was the last expansion that we had Metamorphosis as a talent.
I don't even
because it was Legion after
yeah,
one,
yeah,
right?
They got rid of that because then they gave it to Demon Hunters.
And they made it a whole class.
Yeah.
So
holy shit.
The class design I actually quite liked. Also, WoD introduced some things that were misses, but I think that it was cool to see them experiment, like multi-strike.
Yeah.
It got added as a stat.
Cool.
Yeah.
It looked cool. That's the only thing I care about is did it look cool? Yeah. Like, I mean, to me now, like, I am totally out on, like, MMO multiplayer. Like, I will play one live service game at a time, right? Like, I did Where Winds Meet, and I played it for 500 hours. I beat that game. I did everything in that game. I beat every boss, every difficulty, everything. I collected every stupid little thing. And I did all of that. It was great. Then I moved over to Arknight's Infield. We played that, which was like, like...
I did not make it long.
You didn't really play it that long.
I did not make
it.
Did you pull on any of the other banners besides Leviathan?
Well, there's not really any other one. The only other character they had is the character in the base game, but she's just
didn't they just get the new banner?
Yeah, but it's Gilberta, and she was already in the game.
You got lucky to pull her, though.
I did.
Yeah. So that's right. It was a very low chance that you could pull Gilberta.
Exactly.
So now it's Gilberta, and then it's Yvonne. It's everything about that game just doesn't click with me.
It's just like it feels like it's two different games. It's like it's two different games. Like I like the game. I'm gonna continue playing it, but it's definitely not as like I think Wuthering Waves is better. I think it's a better game.
Oh, dude. Oh no.
I'm thinking about.
Do you know the gacha drama that's going on right now?
Actually, no. Usually, if it's something stupid, I should know.
Let's not get into it.
Okay. Well, either way, I've considered going back and actually, because you were playing like Genshin Impact, and it's like, okay, maybe I will try it out. Maybe I will play Genshin. I'll see what it's like, and then get into the OG, right? Because that was the original game.
I just remember all the hours
Yeah.
that I tried to get you into.
You did.
Look, here's the thing with it. It's gay. It's a little gay.
It's so gay.
But there is a level.
Every character in that game is gay. Basically, every guy character, they're all gay.
Dude, they're hoeing out Varka right now. He's the new bimbo.
Yeah.
Honestly, okay, people are actually freaking out in the Genshin community. I'm on Genshin Twitter now. They're freaking out because, I'm a fucking loser. I saw a tweet the other day, and I was like, damn, my algorithm fucking sucks now. It's like not even giving me racist stuff.
Yeah.
There was a tweet that basically was like, I don't know, if they introduce this one character, I feel like it would be wrong to play her because she's a mother. And I was like, wait, how did I get here?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I was like, just give me a tweet about hating Jews again. Like, send me back.
The only tweets I get now are about World War Mog. Have you seen this?
Oh, with the ASU frat leader?
Dude. Oh my God. I love this. And it's like, the thing is that I feel like the World War Mog with Clavicular, that guy, Androgenic, the ASU frat leader.
Who is Androgenic? Because I just saw my first tweet
He's
about
just
him.
some guy from Australia.
Oh, okay.
And he just shows up and he's like, I'm here to avenge Clav. Where is he, right? And it's like, dude, it's like, the funniest thing about this is that it's like Baki, or it's like an anime, and it's in real life, except for the episodes are 12 seconds, right? It's a 12-second episode. And it's like just these guys like, yeah. And it's like, oh, wow, bro, he got his ass.
Dude, I one time I was with a buddy. This is actually maybe my gayest story ever. It was with Dylan. We were literally hanging out. We had been drinking, and we were sitting on a couch, not too dissimilar from this one.
Yeah.
And I was hammered. I was like thoroughly hammered. This is the night. I've told you about this night. This is the most. This might be the most drunk I ever was. I was playing Metamorphosis League. My computer broke. Okay. This is like Metamorphosis League was probably like pre-OTK, right?
2018 or 19.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Right. It was pre-COVID, and I left my place because I was living in New York. And I went outside.
I'm remembering now. It was at the beginning of 2019 because I remember like I was cooking in that league, and then my girlfriend came back from vacation, and I just totally had to quit.
Dude, I remember you frying in that league. That league was good.
I had so much fun playing that.
That league was good. Cute Dog had really gotten me like into that game, and I remember there were so many people. My one buddy Toxic was helping me out a lot. Like it was like maybe my second or third league where I was like a big boy in the league. Like got a headhunter and like did the whole 9 yards. I think that was my first bow build, but my computer just breaks.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I can't go without playing. I'm living in New York, so there's a 24-hour Best Buy.
Yeah.
So I go on my way to get to the Best Buy to buy a new computer. And 3 of my buddies, while I'm walking on the way to the subway, are standing outside of a bar, and they're like, dude, not streaming tonight? Yeah, go on in. I was like, well, I got to go buy a new computer. They're like, come on, one beer.
Yeah.
I end up getting so drunk.
Yeah.
The next thing that I can clearly remember, I'm on a couch with my one buddy, Baki's on the TV, and there's a bunch of naked dudes, and this one dude sticks his hand in a bunch of grease, shatters a thing of glass, and like gets it all in his hand. He's just like, ugh. And I turn to my one buddy, and he goes, this is what it means to be a man.
Oh, yeah.
Next thing I remember, I'm at the Best Buy,
Yeah.
and I buy an Alienware PC,
Oh,
and
nice.
it broke the next day.
Wow, lasted a long time then. Well, how about that?
Every time I think of hockey, I think of that shit, man. That is a crazy cartoon, bro.
I know. Like, yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. And the thing is that the guys that are out there doing this, like, I feel like the looks maxing, mogging thing, it's so, like, there's things that are funny. And then there's things that are stupid. And then there are things that are so stupid that they're funny. Like, they come all the way back around to where now they're funny again. And I think that's where it's at. I think it's so ridiculous. It's a parody of itself. It's Zoolander in real life. And it's fucking hilarious.
At a
I think
certain
it's amazing.
point, you start doing stuff that's so straight that it's the gayest thing possible.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, it would be less gay to just
have sex with a dude.
Just eat a dick.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I think that Clavicular, I don't think he's gay.
I don't think he's gay. Why would he be gay?
But I think he's doing gay shit.
He's locked in. He's not gay. He's just locked in.
I'm a huge fan of the clips. I've never actually sat down and watched a clavicular stream.
I've watched him gamble. I watch him gamble pretty regularly. He had some girl there watching, and they just lost a bunch of money. That's about it.
As a person just watching clips of the guy, he might be my favorite person to ever make content.
Really? Why's that?
I never leave a clip.
Yeah.
Not fully.
That's a good point. Yeah, exactly.
So,
you never close out of it or get bored or something like that.
I can't look away.
Yeah.
The dude straight up, it's like he just got arrested. He's doing meth.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's like stealing somebody's girl. I don't even care if it's real or not. It's like peak television, bro.
Well,
I want to have him on the podcast. We should just hit him up and try to have him on.
Yeah.
Dude, he could teach you how to.
I talked to him before.
Dude, did you see the fucking thing he did about the vantage points?
Yes.
Did we? I think we talked about it on the deleted episode.
I think we might have. Yeah.
So he sets up boxes around his entire apartment. So when he brings a chick back, he stands on the boxes to be hired to mog her.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he's got to teach you how to do this shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've got to assert dominance, right? You got to let them know. That way there's not somebody else that's like looks taller than you are, bigger than you are, or anything like that.
Vantage points.
Yeah, no, it's smart. I mean, like, there you go. And the thing is that, like, there are so many guys that will watch this and they just absolutely love it. They do. It's fucking hilarious.
So the clips are fucking funny.
Yeah, I know. I love
Are there
it.
people who dislike him?
Oh, absolutely, they are. Like, I remember whenever he ran that guy over, people were like, "Oh, he should go to jail." I said, "For what? Like, what do you mean? The other guy that getting on his car should go to jail." And then whenever, bro, the thumps. And then after that, is he dead? And Clav is like, "I hope so."
I'll never
fucking
forget.
perfect.
I think it was the first episode of the podcast was when that happened.
Yeah.
And I said, I get that he was in a bad situation, but why not reverse?
Yeah.
And I was saying he could have just maybe gotten away, but I think it's like a high tension situation. And you were like, yeah, he should have after he went forward. And I was just like,
hey, fuck him, man.
Yeah, look, the whole stream sniping thing is weird.
It's weird. It's so weird. Some people take it way too far. Like, I get, like, if you want to go, you're at your hometown, some creator is doing a stream. It's like, oh, I know where that is. You want to come by and say hi, I love the stream. Nobody really cares about that, right? That's not a big deal, right? Now, obviously, I think there's some people like that kind of discourage that. I wouldn't make them uncomfortable. But like in a general sense, I don't think that's the real problem. But whenever you have people like him, and like that dude looked like a fucking virus, bro. He looked like a little virus, bro. And then Clav squashed him like a bug, bro. Oh my God, that felt so good. But run his ass over. Wow.
I used to love the IRL streaming stuff more than anything.
I don't want to do it anymore.
I don't think I'll ever do it again.
It's just like the IRL streaming nowadays. It's like there's so many people that think that they can like make a career by like interfering with your stream. And it's like I don't want to deal with that. And I think there's also like the reason why I stopped actually wasn't that reason. It was like I was doing a stream and it was at like Wendy's or something like that. And then I started hearing them because I had apparently the number of the store in the background. And so they were looking it up, posting the address in chat, and they were like calling call it, ask for Baldy, where's Baldy? And it's like, okay, I like, and now you have like these like fucking random people that are working at a Wendy's that are getting harassed because I wanted to make a stream there, and it's like I just feel like a jackass doing that. I do. I feel like a dick.
It's gotten to the point where it's so intrusive on everybody else's day.
And some people, and the thing is that there are the people that do it and they're not intrusive, and I think nobody has a problem with that, right? But there are some people out there, like for example, like we did those two, like we've done Patreon, right? We've done the little Patreon extra episodes, and like we've been at some fast food place or something, and like we're not causing any problems, we're not doing anything wrong. But like there are other people that do it, and it's like any of the nuisance streaming, like that's really what
I
it
hate
is.
that
Like
stuff.
I actually think they should make it illegal.
Well,
I do. I think
I
it should be
agree. They got it to the point now where I feel like people are so sensitive to it, rightfully so, that no matter what you do, it is essentially nuisance streaming.
Yeah.
Right? Like I always feel like I'm mentally, the thought
always
of doing it, I feel like I'm crossing a line.
Yeah.
And I look back at even when I was in Italy, and I'm like, man, was this too far?
Was I
Like,
being a
was I
jackass? Yeah,
annoying
exactly.
people? Like, was I ruining it for someone else? Because I look back at Italy and like even some of the stream snipers that we had, we streamed with them the whole night, and it was it was fun. Right.
Well, that was the problem is like, because you want to do that because it's just like part of the experience. But then the problem is like, you don't want to do that because then it creates a reward structure. And
because
one
of the guys that, well, he didn't even stream snipe us. We met a bartender and we liked him.
Right.
And it was me, Seer, and Andy. And I still remember his Twitch channel was like Black Bull. I think it was Black Bull, and then he had a few numbers. He literally started a Twitch channel after streaming with us, and he got like, for a few weeks he was getting like decent viewers. He was, like, streaming because we met him and he was genuinely a cool guy. So if a random guy sees that and goes, oh my god, I can start a streaming career if I stream snipe.
Now everybody is going to be showing up,
and
right?
that sucks because at the beginning none of this shit was like about that.
Well, now I do think things are much more, they're way more like commercialized.
But you
and
can't
I think
blame people for wanting that.
I mean,
right?
like, listen, if you see some guy, go from 0 to like, I don't know, $10,000 a month, right? Just stream sniping people or just streaming in general. Like, there's a lot of people out there. I mean, like, obviously they're going to see that and they're going to be like, I want to do that.
And there's nobody who watches a streamer and goes like, they do something that I can't do.
Right, yeah.
Nobody watches a stream and thinks that.
Yeah.
And I think that there are very few people that, even as somebody who's like streamed and made content, been in front of the camera for like, 12 years now, something like that. Very few people that I look at and go like, they're the actual talented ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But there are a lot. I mean, like, even,
Well, like, I think that being a good streamer, it's like one of those things where it's like good editing or good, like any sort of like, background work, right? Being a good producer, like that's invisible. Like,
everybody has different superpowers, right?
Yeah.
Like Queso, right?
Yeah.
That dude ran TikTok, right? Then he's also funny as fuck.
Yeah,
right?
he is.
He's also
That's why he ran
endearing,
TikTok,
right? But but he did, that was his superpower, right? Like he did the short form stuff really well. Then you look at like I don't know, like Quinn69, what's his superpower? Being fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody says retarded is that guy.
That's really hard to do.
He's the most retarded guy ever.
Yeah.
He's like come down from heaven as like the entity of retardation. And he's my personal favorite streamer. He's the only streamer that I'll watch. I come into your thing, I say like 2 anti-Semitic things, and I watch Quinn's.
Yeah.
Right? Like everybody has their favorite streamer.
Try to fit in.
Well, I actually have an alt account that I spam in Quinn's chat because I don't want him to know that I'm watching. And I just spam I spam shit all the time.
Yeah.
I've gotten banned before in his chat, and like
it is what it is.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not ban evading. But yeah, dude, that dude sucks at Terraria, bro. But you said you were gonna. Who else is Clint Stevens, best streamer to ever live?
Yeah.
Best
Well, he
streamer
doesn't
ever.
stream.
That's why he's so good.
Yeah. It's the best streamers. Yeah. The best streamers don't stream.
He is the streamer.
Yeah.
I think streamers love watching Clint.
I think, he's a nice guy. He's a relaxed guy. I've talked to him a couple of times.
I've never met him.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I've never met him, though. I've just talked to him.
We tried to ruin his career, right? Didn't we want him to join OTK?
I think we did, yeah. Like, the thing is that, like, what are the odds, man? Like, so many people have crashed out so hard.
Dude, my list, though, we were talking about this before.
Yeah.
My list remains supreme.
Yeah.
I went through my list the other day, like the list of people who I wanted.
Yeah.
And I had a list because I was into Genshin at the time, and I
Yeah.
had a list of streamers who I wanted to look at for OTK.
Yeah.
And I had this one guy, this one content creator that I was like, this guy's going to be huge.
Uh-huh.
His name was Zyox.
Yeah.
Still streaming, averages great numbers. His YouTube videos still do really well. And he's like this incredible streamer. And I was like, I was like, how the heck did I find all these people?
How'd you know? Yeah, exactly.
I think that, like, I actually am starting to believe all the Jewish conspiracies.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I think I might be like a sleeper agent.
Oh, so like you're working for Mossad, but you don't even know it yet.
I don't even know it, bro.
Okay.
It's like Fallout, dude. I got the chip in me.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this, though, because...
Manchurian Canada?
Dude, I'm starting to believe some really weird shit. You remember Assassin's Creed?
Which?
The OG one, the good one.
Okay.
Where it was like, there was like, not the one that sponsored Hassan. The old one where it was like, there was like this genetic memory.
Oh, that's an ongoing thing across all of them.
Oh, you still play?
Well, no, I never really did. Honestly, I know that.
Yeah, I played God, who was the first guy?
Was it Ezio?
Ezio. Yeah, Ezio. The Ezio arc actually had pretty good lore and stuff. I went back and watched the lore video not that long ago, and there was a collab with AFK Arena that I lost a bunch of money on. Oops. But yeah, with Assassin's Creed, there's like that whole genetic memory idea.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm 100 or 50%, but my dad's side of the family, 100% Scottish.
Okay.
Then my mother's side of the family, depending on who you talk to, either 100% Russian or 100% Ukrainian.
Okay.
They fight about it all the time. But like on each side, like they were the first to mix. And turn me into, this little mudblood.
Mudblood? Is that what you call him?
I'm a mutt, right? But like if you put on like a Scottish ass song, we never listened to that shit growing up.
Yeah.
But I fucking I want to fucking
dance to it and shit like that.
Shake, right?
Yeah.
Like just fucking shillelagh
So you
around.
feel like that's like what you're supposed to do.
Am I like genetically predisposed? Am I just Punch the Monkey living in like a fucking cage, bro?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I wonder how much of that there actually is. I feel like probably not a lot, but like maybe it's like one of those things that like once you know that's part of what you are, like then there's like a selection, like a bias that goes on, right? Or like then now you start thinking that way because you think you're supposed to think that way.
I do Jewy shit all the time.
I know.
But like I'm not like I wasn't like raised super Jewish or anything.
I mean, like my family's my dad's German, right? I mean, like it was German, and like it's Scottish a little bit too, right? And so like he was like massive into that shit. Like any way to save money, any way to complain about things. Holy fuck, there was always something.
Well, that's the Scottish thing.
Yeah, well, it's both, right? And I guess so. Yeah, it's Scottish and Jewish. Yeah, for sure.
Wait, you got Jew in you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Oh no. No, Asmon Goldstein, absolutely not.
I was like, what the fuck, bro?
No, of course not.
I thought that was the craziest reveal ever.
No.
I was like German.
At least
Jew.
as far as I know.
No. So she's like straight
Crazy
up
mix.
Scottish people.
Are
like they're
penny pinchers too.
Yeah. So, but I'm not a penny pincher.
But you try to get as many pennies as possible.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different, right? So you don't have to pinch the pennies.
But I get the pennies and then I spread them around.
Yeah, sure. I can see that. Yeah, definitely.
I feel like I actually don't. Maybe you agree, and I think you feel the same way. It's not about the money,
right?
It's about like, we won today. Like that's a good feeling.
Oh, for like whenever you like help somebody out or something like that,
well,
or
seeing a number go up.
Oh, I guess. Like I'm gonna be real. Like I don't even look. Like I don't even know. I don't give a fuck.
But you look at other numbers.
I mean, I just don't look at money. Like honestly.
Yeah. But I'm saying I'm saying for me, money's the number that I tend to look at.
You're saying like that's like your scoreboard.
Yeah,
right?
but it's a scoreboard. It's not actually about the money.
It's about what it means.
Yeah, it's like I feel good about myself because the number is bigger.
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
Like, but like for you, I feel like it's like different shit.
It's like success of the stream, how well the videos are doing. Like, oh yeah, the tweet that did really well. Like, oh that's nice. Like, great. Yeah, sure. Like, definitely have that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty normal actually. Like, I think most people have. There's probably some number that most people care about that matters a lot to them, right? Whether it's a salary, how much they weigh, like basically, I don't know, like how much they can bench press. Like there's some sort of like what their gear score in a video game is. Like there's some sort of number that almost everybody cares about for a partially superficial reason. I think that's generally true.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think regression is the thing that makes people feel
that's what's
really
sucks,
depressed.
Right? Whenever you're going back, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, because I feel like a lot of streamers have this issue where it's like they're, oh my fucking God. Like just total meltdown. Oh, I used to be getting this many viewers. Now I'm only getting this many viewers. Like, oh no, like not again.
And you just ruin your life.
Over it. I mean, there are people, it's like, it's so crazy to me that like there's people that like you literally, your job is to like sit in front of a webcam and talk and play video games and you hate you want to kill yourself. Like, what are you, fucking retarded?
There's also so many.
What are you doing?
There's so many really great moments that you only get if you're on the smaller end.
Yeah.
You can actually talk to people.
What do you mean? How do you mean?
Like, okay, so I've not been streaming as much, right? I actually had a job up until a few days ago. I think I officially am no longer. I think I'm actually full-time making content now. But I've been working and had a normal job, which was cool. I actually really liked it a lot. But I've come back and like I'm streaming now, and it's way. The chat moves slower, right? I mean, like less viewers than when I was streaming every single day for 10 years straight.
Yeah, you invest a lot of time into it. It's gonna happen.
There are a lot of people whose names like I know and I talk to, and it's really nice. Now I don't have. I haven't been streaming for 3 years, so there's not as much pressure. Right? So it's like I'm not coming back being like, oh no, like I have to get this number that I got.
I have to be the same guy. Yeah, of course.
I got more viewers than I did a few years ago. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm pretty happy just to be doing it again. And then but you look at the upsides, and there's so many. Like I talk to people who have watched me for a long time, much more. And I feel like it's really hard when you do lock yourself into a number to actually appreciate the good new things that you get from ups and downs and ebbs and flows of life. And I think like one of the biggest things is like nobody actually. It's impossible to die all the way, in my opinion, to die all the way as a streamer if you still have it in you to actually make good content.
That's a big.
If you have it in you,
that's a really big qualifier.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, there's so many people that just they get fat and old and lazy. That's what happens.
Well, I mean, I heard that you're 40 and you talk weird, Unk. So I don't even know if I should be.
Dude, that's just. Are you fucking kidding me? From the one guy that does it more than me. The one person.
You guys were speaking in a language I didn't understand. I just think it's really funny to watch two people yell at each other through clips, calling each other 40 years old. I think you're both gay.
Well, that's the thing. It's like everybody's calling him old too, and I'm old. You're calling me old. You've got more gray hair than I do. What the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, look. You can say whatever. You can say whatever you want about the guy. That guy's a good-looking dude.
He is absolutely. He's a good-looking middle-aged man. He's a great-looking middle-aged man. Yeah, that's right. And there's no shame in that. It's completely okay. Listen, it happens to everybody, right?
Neither of you are 40. You're probably both a similar age, calling each other 40.
Yes.
It's just like, it's so fucking funny. I just like watching people yell at each other through clips.
It's stupid.
Yeah, you just sit down, get some tea, have a little debate with each other.
Oh, dude, I hate debates. I hate arguing. I hate doing it. And the real reason why I don't like doing it, I just don't want to talk to anybody.
The only person that you talk to on stream, bro.
Yeah?
DSP. Why'd you pick DSP?
Because I don't know why.
Like, of all the people, you picked DSP.
Because it just happened, right? And like, so basically, I made a video of him, and he said, well, if you're gonna react to me, you gotta get me on to hear my side of things. And I was like, you know what? This is so stupid, I'll bite. Okay, fine. And so I decided, you know what? Let's bring DSP on. Let's have him talk about things. And I learned, you know what? He's really not that bad of a guy. He's actually kind of a good guy. I like him. Now, everybody else hates him, and a lot of his anti-fans got mad because they were like, oh, well, now, like, Asmon likes him, and, like, he's going to get more viewers, and Phil might get more money, and, like, then we can't make fun of him. So it was funny.
I started to watch a video about why everybody hated him.
That's a long video.
It was like 3 hours long. And I tried to watch it on stream, and everybody was like, dude, we'd rather watch you play WoW. And I was like, that's the worst comment I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I didn't finish it. I got to a part where everybody was mad at him because he said some stuff that was like, they were like, oh, he's anti-Semitic. He like made a Nazi joke. Dude, it was funny.
Yeah.
It was like not that big of a deal.
I don't think, I don't think anybody really cared
about
that.
I don't know. I heard like people said that there was stuff that he did that was like bad in the past.
Yeah. Nothing that he did. The thing is that he's just like, again, he's just a guy. He's like, I don't know even really what the words are for it. Like maybe he has like some Asperger's kind of like tendencies.
Yeah.
Where it's like, he'll say things in a way that's like awkward or weird or cringe.
Do you think either of us are autistic?
Oh, so I basically, somebody said, like, they were like, okay, well, these are the things that, you know, like, it's like, if you are these things, you're autistic. and it was like basically them just listing out my personality. And I was like, jeez.
I want to do that
right?
special. You, me, and Mia get tested.
Yeah?
For autism.
I mean, I like the thing is that what I worry is that like if I ever get tested for autism, it's going to make me more autistic. So like for example, like because it's like now that you know that you're like fucking autistic, now you're like, oh no. It's like now you have an excuse, a rationalization.
So it's the same as me like liking Scottish music.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Right,
As soon as you know that you're supposed to wait, I'm supposed to be a fucking idiot.
You're gonna like get a fidget spinner.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a fidget spinner. Now I'm gonna rationalize acting weird in these
You're
other
gonna play
ways,
Five
too.
Nights at Freddy's.
Yes, exactly. Right. Look up all the fan art. Yeah. No, of course. It's so fucking like I don't want to. I'm kind of worried about doing that. I don't know if I want to get tested. Now, would I ever get tested for autism? Yes, I would. I would do it for content.
I really don't know if you are.
Why is that?
Because you are one of the most. Look, we obviously are not trained like medical professionals to be diagnosing anything.
That's true.
So I have no fucking idea, right? I'm talking about my ass right now. But you are socially incredibly tapped in to a lot of things.
Well, yeah, I mean.
So like you are one of the more perceptive people that I know.
The coach doesn't play the game. You know, like that's just how it works. I mean, like, yeah. Well, so I mean, like, I see what's going on. I see, like, damn, bro, like, all these people are fucking retarded. Like, why would they say this? Why would they even think this? But then it's like I don't want to go talk to them. I don't want to I don't want to interact with these people. But like, if you ask me, it's like, yeah, that's what's going on.
Do you think I'm autistic?
Fuck no.
Yeah, I think.
Fuck no.
I think,
absolutely not.
I think I have really bad ADHD.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I think streaming gives you ADHD. Because like you're constantly like for me, I used to not be as bad, but like after streaming, that shit made me retarded. It
fries
did.
you.
It made because you're thinking about 50 things at a time, and it's like you're reading all these messages. They're totally distorted, and you do that for like 6 hours a day. Well, for me, like every single day for like years. And your brain is gonna turn into fucking bananas and rice.
I felt a lot.
Not good.
I felt a lot better mentally.
Yeah.
When I wasn't streaming. But I was also. It was nice. Like I was working, but I wasn't working every single day of the week. On the weekends, I would hang out with the same 2 or 3 people to play board games, and then the same 4 or 5 people to play video games.
Yeah, sure.
And then I'd hang out with my girlfriend, and it was like much more controlled.
Yeah.
I started to get joy from things that I don't pay attention to when I'm streaming, like cleaning.
Yeah.
Like I actually was like, oh man, that feels nice.
Oh wow, look at the room.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then the second you start streaming, I'm like taping tinfoil up on my windows because I don't feel like actually buying curtains because I have to beat Expedition 33 before Thanksgiving.
Well, it's something like whenever you're streaming, it's like it's a very mentally engaging thing, right? And like you're thinking about it all the time, and it's like also like the way that some people do it is different than the way other people do. But like in general, I think that's the way it is.
It makes me really depressed.
Is streaming does?
If I don't pay attention to it, that's also why I've been like, because now I'm doing it for fun because like there is a part of it that I obviously love.
Yeah.
But I remember, I mean, this is like dark, bro. Maybe it's too dark, but when we started OTK, around when we started OTK, I was the most depressed that I ever was. Like it was really bad because I was just playing WoW all the time.
Yeah.
Running around like Ants and Bobby Kodak's Maze. Like that time in my life was really dark. And I remember like the time that it actually got better was when we did the OTK barbecue on NMP stream.
I don't even think I was. Was I even there for that one? I don't think I was there. For
if
that
you
one.
were, I didn't talk to you the whole time.
Yeah,
because it was actually because you remember how we originally. I don't know what you guys did after I was gone, but originally the thing with OTK was if we wanted anyone to join, everybody had to agree.
Yeah,
like we kind of had that rule. And I was the only person who didn't vote yes for Seer at the time because I had never met him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just got to meet him one time.
Right.
Like, I trust you guys, but I want to meet him one time before I do my vote because it was super early at that point. And we did the barbecue, and it was the first time I met him, and I talked to him outside the entire time.
Yeah.
Before that stream happened, I was on the phone with the therapist just being like, I don't know, I think I gotta stop streaming. I was like, this is like, it's cooking me. Like I'm not doing well. And then after I met him,
What do you think bothered you about streaming?
I think that my closest friends at the time, you were one of them.
Yeah.
I talked to you maybe once every other week. And then I was in a room.
Said coach doesn't play the game.
Yeah, well, dude, but it was like we used to talk. We used to talk way more. When that shit happened, it was just like.
Well, when we got involved, we did the OTK stuff. It was like for me, it was like a social overload. Like I didn't expect that I would have. Like I don't know why I didn't expect this, but like it was a stupid decision on my part for me to assume that like for somebody that's like kind of as socially averse as I am, that it would be like normal for me or like I'd be able to deal with it well, which I definitely was not able to at all.
It wasn't initially the plan either, what we did.
Yeah.
Like, the initial plan was we were just going to do tournaments. And
yeah, sure.
Like,
and then it scaled up super fast because it went really well.
I mean, I like a lot of what happened, right? Early days. Like, there were a lot of things that we did that I look back on. I will literally open up videos of us opening the Pokemon boxes for the first time. I'll cry, like, because it's like happy.
We had a good time. I mean, like I could go back and I watch it. Like there's like I think it was a mistake to do like for me, just like on a personal level. But like at the same time, it's like there were a lot of positives with it too. Like there were. I did enjoy it in a lot of ways.
Look, it didn't work, but. It didn't work.
Yeah.
But some of my best memories in life are from it.
Yeah.
In the early days. So, look, I don't plan on like ever really even reconnecting with anyone or anything like that.
Sure.
I'm back to where I started. I still got all my friends, you know what I mean, that I had before. But I do look back on it, and there were some like pretty awesome moments.
Oh, bro, we had so many good ones. Like there were some really, really good times. Like I enjoyed it a lot, and at the same time, it was very stressful. It was extremely stressful. A lot of bullshit, a lot of stupid stuff, etc.
I tried to make it not stressful for you.
Yeah,
I did try really
you did.
hard.
It's just to me. I mean, as I said, I'm a pretty weird guy, and so I like doing things my own way, and that's about fucking it.
I actually if you remember, I actually wasn't. My whole plan was to not stream.
Yeah. You were gonna 50-50 it. That was the idea.
Well, what ended up happening was you took a break.
I did.
And we needed hours, and that's why I streamed again. And I literally told you, I went, dude, I'm telling you, if you stream, credit where credit's due. I said, if you stream Final Fantasy 14 right now, you will get a fuck ton of views. And then I streamed it first.
I think you did. Actually.
I did for 3 days. And the first stream, I got 7K views. It was my biggest stream, like really ever.
Yeah.
And then I did another one. It kept going more and more and more. And then you streamed the next day, and you got like 250,000 views or something like that.
Insane. It was ridiculous.
Then you started streaming again.
Yeah.
And then you took another break. I kept streaming. I streamed it for a while, and then. You turned into Zach Rohr.
Yeah.
I think you came back on Asmongold for Lost Ark, right?
I did. I did that for Lost Ark, and then Elden Ring, and then the Johnny Depp trial.
Lost Ark.
Yes.
Lost Ark. I remember. Do you remember that call when I was like, "Dude, I got to talk to this guy."
So I remember what happened is that like basically I was gonna join I wasn't going to stream Lost Ark on my main channel.
Yeah.
And then everybody from OTK brought me into. I think I was actually.
It was you, me, and Tips.
No, it was more. It was like I think Miz was there. I think SFan was there too.
Really?
Yeah. It was like everybody there. It was like an intervention, and they were like, "If you're not gonna come back now, when are you gonna come back?" And like I had not planned on going back.
I do remember SFan in particular.
And like so, yeah, exactly. I remember.
Oh, that's funny.
So the next day,
thing.
like I basically decided to go back and stream on my main channel like overnight. I was like, okay, fine, fuck it.
Do you remember the late night call that we had with Lost Ark? It was you, me, and the guy from Lost Ark, because I had to get the drops turned on your channel.
Oh yes.
And I got them.
Yes.
I got them. I got them for you 12 hours before the game came out, and you broke 400K viewers. And
That's right.
I watched from. I was at Topgolf, and I watched the stream.
Yeah.
And have you ever seen Goodfellas?
I think so.
There's a scene in Goodfellas where Ray Liotta's character is in the shower, and on the news it comes on. It's like the Lufthansa heist, and he's just banging on the shower. He goes, "Yeah, that was me."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yes, I did it!"
Yeah,
losing my shit.
That was fucking nuts.
And then I came back. I went live, and you hosted me, and I streamed. I'm not kidding. That month, I streamed every single hour you weren't streaming for a month straight.
Yes.
And
It was fucking insane. Like, we farmed that so hard. Like, I think that was it was so, like, Lost Ark
craziest honeymoon period.
Yeah, it was the craziest honeymoon period of any video game I've ever had. It was so fucking fun. All I wanted to do was play Lost Ark. I put like 1,500 hours into the game in like 2 or 3 months. It was fucking insane. Like, all I did was play Lost Ark. And I don't regret that for even a slight fucking second. And we spent so much money on it, too. Remember, like, so basically, like, there was a lot of criticism from, like, people got mad at Amazon because there were people spending $1,000 a day because you were capped and you could only spend $1,000 a day. And like this is how degenerate this game was. Like you could only spend $1,000 a day. And so then it got even worse whenever they took it down to 400. And I remember what you were doing is you had 2 separate accounts, and so you could get around the $400 thing. And so not only would you be maxing out your main account, you'd be maxing out the second account and then buying out the things from your second account on your main account so you could get even more fucking money.
Yeah, I had a Smurf too. So I had Wajito had an account too,
yeah,
and I would make
yeah,
Wajito do stuff. Now he's on an island with Jason Weed, not any other
Not
island.
the other,
yeah,
not the big J.
Yeah. So Wajito ran like my Smurf account. And then I remember, like, I was at a movie theater way back with Shroud, and this guy had Smurfs too.
Yeah,
and he was going.
Shroud, dude. It's like he was going hard as fuck, man.
Dude's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Every time that he has a win, he's like one of those people that like I'm parasocial with at this point.
Yeah, really.
Oh, when he had the Fallout thing, I'm a
Fallout
bit of
thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he had like an advertisement with Fallout.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
It was so cool. It just happened. I actually cried a little bit. I'm a bitch. I cry a lot.
Really?
Oh yeah. Did you? Oh man, I do. Like happy tears.
Yeah.
I don't often cry like sad tears.
You're
But I
upset,
cry a
yeah.
lot of like.
It's like, this is badass. Like, this is so
Yeah.
good. Like, yeah, I'm so happy.
Like-
Like, I'm so lucky. Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14 made me cry a bunch. Like, dude, Shroud is one of those people that I always cheer for as like a fan.
I remember whenever they shouted him out at the Game Awards, I think it was the Game Awards, whenever it was with Mephisto shouting him out, I was like, okay, that's cool.
Did you?
That is
You
fucking
got to hit
cool.
up McConnell. We got to play
Yeah.
Divinity on his stream, bro.
I mean, I'm down for that. Yeah, I am.
It'd
Like,
be
I mean,
fun.
it's a 3-player, 4-player game, right?
I think I think you can go up to 4,
Yeah.
but we can do a 3.
Yeah, I can
or we can like bring in an extra 2.
Yeah,
it'll
sure.
be fun, man.
I mean, like, I'd be down to like play because like the new one's coming out, right? It's gonna come out probably next year.
Probably next year.
Yeah.
But we do on his stream if he wants.
Yeah.
We do Divinity, Divinity 2, whatever.
Yeah.
And then on your stream we do Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the plan, guys, by the way. Like, we haven't really talked about this a lot, but, like, we're probably going to do Baldur's Gate 3, me, Rich, McConnell, and maybe the 4th.
Maybe Dylan?
Yeah, maybe, right? That's what your idea is. And, like, I'm not sure if he's down or, like, what's going to happen, but it might be him, could be somebody else. Like, we know a few other guys, like, might be down for that. But that is generally the plan. It's just that it's a very big commitment that like we want to do.
I have a game that I want to play with you.
What's that?
Really bad. I just saw like some Twitter account tweeted it out, and I saw it's a game. There's no jump or anything. You have to do it with all physics. It's a 2-player game, and you're a hamster in a wheel.
What?
And the hamster wheels are tethered together.
That, yes.
Dude, we gotta play it.
Oh my fucking
We gotta
God.
play
Yeah.
it. We go crazy.
Oh Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
we would rage out.
I know, it'd be fucking annoying.
I
It'd be so
wanna try.
fucking annoying.
Dude, we just set aside
Yeah.
like a few hours and we try it.
God,
That would be
no.
so fucking
No.
funny, man. We just gotta do it. We gotta do a few of those rage bait games.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I feel like I haven't really played games with anybody recently. Like, the only multiplayer game that I played recently, this is going to sound really sad, High Guard. Did you play High Guard?
I downloaded it.
Yeah.
I watched your stream.
And there's...
By the time you got to the shopkeeper, I had already uninstalled.
You're already done?
I was done.
It's just like, dude, that game... So they already announced layoffs. there's already
Which is sad.
It is. It's sad, but like at the end of the day, I mean, that's what happens. You make a game like that, and you don't make the copies. Like it's going under 1,000 players now. To go from like 90 something thousand to like 900 in like what, a fucking 2 weeks?
There's too much competition in that space.
Oh my, it's not. The game sucks.
Because we got good games that people are playing,
exactly.
like Ashes. Dude.
Yeah, of course, right? Yeah, and that is. Have you seen some of the shit with the investment and everything?
I told you.
Oh my god,
bro! I told you,
dude. There's no way.
To be fair, I told you.
You did. Like, there's no way. $140 million,
dude. I need to double check everything and verify everything.
Yeah.
But I have some good insider information, so I verified a decent amount of stuff.
Yeah.
And I will probably within like the next 2 days, like I'll talk about it and like, share everything that I've gotten.
Yeah.
But every single thing that looked like it was a play.
Yeah.
To as somebody who's seen a lot of this shit happen before, it seems like it's all coming out that they are.
Wow.
And look, remember what I said about the Steam situation?
thing? Yeah.
Dude, even with Steam though, they potentially leverage. I don't have any validation of this though.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I don't personally. This is like the smoking gun too. If there is proof of this, that there was on a loan a bank basically they said leverage the Steam payment.
Oh yeah,
which was something that I was like, I feel like this might have been a thing that happened because this is like the perfect play in this situation because it gets you out of any debt and it fakes the launch.
Yeah,
and it looks like that might have actually been a thing that happened.
That would, well, I mean, like my understanding is that the decision that like things were basically like cooked was made before the Steam release. That's what I heard, right? I mean, like again, like all this stuff, like all this stuff is like super like third hand, fourth hand, like not even second hand. So like, I mean, it's hard really to know whether it's true, but like, man, I feel like that this has done such irreparable damage to MMOs. I think MMOs with Ashes dying, I think it's over.
But then there's other big scams that have happened too. I mean,
I feel like this is the big one.
Yeah.
This is the big one.
Nothing looks good right now. And so many of the MMO players, gotcha games are the live service games that are taking a lot of MMO players right now, and then the other MMO players are leaving. Right? Gotcha games take all of the good things of MMOs and then use them against you.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, I mean, if you look at it, right? Imagine if you were playing World of Warcraft and I said, hey, you can have every single piece of gear you wanted right now if you spend a little bit more money.
Right.
Well, we already know a lot of people do that. They buy gold.
Yeah, they already do that now.
They pay for a more.
They're buying like WoW tokens and they're buying carries. Yeah.
So, gotchas take that a step further, and it makes stuff further and further away. And then when a new patch comes out and introduces class buffs, instead of doing that, they just introduce a new class that's better.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So gotcha games work on the RPG player's mind very well.
Yeah, I think so.
And then it gets away from all the negatives of an MMO.
Well, I feel like really like a game like Where Winds Meet, like you didn't really play it a lot.
I didn't.
It had like a lot of the MMO elements. Like I think that did you play Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
Okay, so like I think that's where MMOs are going. I do. I feel like MMOs are going in a direction where it's like, okay, there are shared spaces, but there's an open world that you can inhabit with other people or not. You can cooperate with them or not. And like maybe there's a couple of things that you need to play with other people, but otherwise you can do everything yourself.
The biggest problem with MMOs is like nobody at this day and age when there's this much competition, this many screens in front of our faces.
All right, be back.
Doing crafting stuff. My hands still feel sticky from the barbecue.
Yes, because the other one was Brody. And the shower rings were pissed me off, so I gotta do curtain and shower rings.
There. I'm just starting to like fall behind because usually I'm a tailor on my mage.
Yeah.
Which I can just make my own gear.
Yeah.
But because I'm an engineer, which is really good for min-maxing endgame, but right now I'm just like struggling a little. Oh. There you go. Hi. Didn't feed him, didn't let him out. Goddamn.
I want my engagement ring today.
Engagement ring? Who are you engaged to? Huh. Here I thought we were married.
Well, I guess, yeah, it's a little past the engagement portion.
Yeah, just a wee bit.
Do you want to say on Tuesday at 8 p.m. every single night I'm going to do this?
I don't think people ever really wanted to do that.
No,
I think that
you would
MMOs
just log on and pug, right?
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
You know, the game's gotten to the point where I think MMOs need to be more puggable.
Yeah.
I don't think that, you know, World of Warcraft needs to be the hardest game ever.
That's the reason why I don't really find it to be fun. It's that like back in the day, like if you go back and you look at Meg Theridon or you look at, I mean, I really feel like after Wrath is whenever things got way too hard. Like I remember like Nefarian comes out, it's like super fucking hard. Like even like normal boss fights, like Omnitron defense system was fucking hard.
Well,
like Alec here was
look
hard.
at what they did, right? I mean, in Canada, that's when Raid Finder was
At the end of it, yeah.
Was it the end?
Dragon Soul was the first tier that they
you're right,
added.
Dragon Soul,
Yeah.
and then it had different colors, but you could get the
yeah.
same tier set, and you would get the same effect at a lesser amount. So there was this weird thing where it was like there's kind of no reason, but the Raid Finder is like a frictionless experience. So
Yeah.
it's impossible to balance
Yeah.
in an MMO. Saying you said something to me the other day, which was like the exact you hit it on the head.
Yeah.
You were like, because I was like, man, should we just play Kara one more time? And you were like, well, the thing is I don't want to wipe in Kara at all again. But also at the same time, if I'm not wiping at all, what's the point?
Right.
That's the issue with MMOs because nobody wants to sit there and wipe for 14
Well, it's
hours.
also like there's nothing that's like interesting about it. Like I know what's gonna happen. I know the mistakes people are gonna make. It's gonna
We
take
called all
fucking
of them
forever.
out on that call that we
yeah,
had,
exactly. It's like the flame wreath, the nether spite beams, the
Yeah.
fucking oh wow, somebody's standing in the wrong spot. People aren't killing the curator ads. Somebody's standing inside of the fire with fucking somebody dispelled early with the fucking Nightbane debuff. Like I'm just thinking all of these out, right? Oh, you didn't move away from Malkazar and you got hit by the AOE again. It's like holy fuck.
The
Like,
thing
do I
that's
really
good
want to
about
do
Kara,
this
though,
again?
the one thing that's good about Kara is it's vibey as hell. But that was kind of the thing when I logged into WoW for TBC. I actually played for like a few hours. I only got to like 61.
Yeah.
I played with a buddy who we actually just jumped on the phone with. We were making fun of him for Gully. Hopefully you get out of silver in fucking league after the past 6
I thought
months.
you said he was gold.
He said he was gold.
Okay, so it's probably
He was
silver.
like, I've been bouncing back and
Yeah.
forth, bro. Clowns and silver still. But I was playing with one of our buddies, and I had a really good time. And I had all these memories flood back.
Yeah.
Then somebody disconnected, and I was like, I'm just going to play something else.
Yeah.
And I never got back on. And, you know, I'll probably level and log on with our patrons and do Kara once or twice. But at the end of the day, I don't know how long they're going to want to do Kara either.
Right.
Once you get the memory hit that one time.
It's also that, like, I mean, like, the nostalgia for me, it's like whenever I'm running back to the boss for the third time, the nostalgia hits, but it's not nostalgia. It's PTSD. And I'm done. I'm done. Like, whenever, I remember it was like me and McConnell, day one of tier 5. This was the end. This was the final raid that I gave a shit about. And I remember we did OR, and I said, everybody go to the platform. Somebody doesn't go to the platform. I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to do this again. Okay, somebody's being stupid. I'm so tired of this shit.
There are so many things that have caused WoW to fail now that I don't blame Blizzard for all the way.
Yeah.
There are like a lot of things. Now, I don't think that they've done the best job.
I think that they listen to hardcore players. They listen to the bottom and the top 5% of players. Like, they listen to the super sweats and they listen to the super dumb fucks. And that's all it is. And they make content for those two groups.
They were right one time.
What was that?
You think you do, but you don't.
I mean, the Classic was really good.
Now, they weren't necessarily right with Classic.
Uh-huh.
But what they were right about,
the players don't always know what they want.
They don't.
No.
If I ask any player what they want all the gear.
Yeah.
And if you just give them all the gear, you're not going to have fun. Yeah, it's cocaine logic.
Yeah,
so the first thing they teach you in game design school, when you hear somebody say that they want something in a game, the job of the game developer is they're almost like a therapist.
Yeah.
They need to go a level beyond that and be like, okay,
how can I make you feel like you deserve this or you earned this?
Exactly. How do I create the right friction to make you work for this and actually feel rewarded when you get it?
Yeah.
And they used to do it with really good Jigsaw progression in World of Warcraft, but they don't have that anymore. But also, it's a lot harder to do. Some of the best things about World of Warcraft were this nice, slow-paced adventure that you went on that you could play on your own time.
Sure.
Does the world want that anymore? I do, but I don't know if the rest of a broad gaming audience do.
The problem is, like, people already, like, RuneScape delivers that in a way that, like, old school RuneScape, I think, delivers that in a way that WoW doesn't.
And they do really well.
Well, they do it, and the reason why OSRS works so well is because nothing resets and everything is permanent. Whereas in WoW, every accomplishment that you have is always, it's in one way or another, this like fleeting moment. And then like you get to like basically like in every season of WoW like that I played, from like Legion to whenever I quit in War Within, and you know, I wasn't really even playing War Within, but like I played there at the beginning, is that you would do the dungeons, and then you would do the Mythic dungeons, and then you would do the Mythic Plus dungeons, and then you would do the raid on normal, and then you would do higher level Mythic Plus dungeons, then you would do the raid on heroic, and then you would do a high enough Mythic Plus dungeon in order to get like that top tier echelon Mythic Plus item, and then
One a
after
week. You only get one Mythic
you
item
get
a
one a
week,
week,
yeah.
right? And then like now you're filling out your slots with that item, and then after that, then you're also doing, you know, your heroic re-clear for special trinkets, and maybe you do one or two mythic bosses, and that is the entire game, and that has been the entire game since 2016.
And
Like,
you're also farming out the tokens, which is kind of boring because it's so
bullshit.
deterministic.
It's boring. Like, I don't like, because you're doing the exact same thing. In a lot of cases, you're doing the same dungeons, or you're doing at least dungeons you've done before. And it's like, what's really the, like, what's the draw here? Because like in Classic WoW, for example, like I like the idea that, oh fuck, I better do BWL right now because AQ is going to come out, and then I'll be ready for AQ. And then it's like, oh fuck, I better do AQ right now because Nax is really hard, and then I can get prepared for that. But like now, like when all of your progression effectively resets every patch, you don't really feel like you're making any sort of like consistent progress. And like you compare that with OSRS, where like the progress is just, you know, like a year's worth of content, right? Year-long journey to get something, then it's like the entire perspective changes. Because another thing is that like in Classic WoW, you never really got power crept in a way, right? Like if you stepped away from the expansion or from the game for like 6 months or something like that, and this happened in TBC too to a lesser extent, but like if you stepped away and you were level 43, you came back, you are in the exact same place. Like, yeah,
because everybody still had to do
right.
the other shit.
Yeah, everybody still has to do the same thing. Like now, it's like everybody, like basically you get to level 43 and you come back and like somebody else gets to level 43 where you were just at in like 15 seconds, and then so it's like all the progress that you made is effectively invalidated. And it's one of the reasons why I like Lost Ark at the beginning, is that there was so much like side level progress. Like, you know, you would collect all the Mokoko seeds, you'd get all those like paintings, and
There's
you get
a
all
lot
this
of
other
horizontal
stuff.
progression.
Yeah, and I did all of it. I loved it because like that felt like I was really investing in an account. And whenever I don't have that, and there's nothing I can do, that's why I like Where Winds Meet. That's why I do like, you saw like my Wuthering Waves. Like I have like all the mission exploration things done, right?
Yeah.
Like I did everything in these games, and like it feels good to do that because like you're actually accomplishing something, and there's like a finality of it. And whenever there is no finality of it, and it's just this ever increasing hamster wheel that gets resized every expansion based off of, are the numbers too big or are the numbers too small? And they just obviously do this, and you're basically doing the exact same thing for like 10 years. And it's like, and it would be better if there was like some sort of like meaningful progression that you would have, but it's the same rewards, the same mindset, the same mentality, the same mechanics. It's like nothing's really different. It's always going to be the same stuff, and it's not. And here's the thing: is it's not an MMO anymore. It's not a shared world like the way the classic WoW was, and it's also not even really classic WoW. It was vanilla WoW. Because like the way that vanilla WoW was in like 2006, like we're not in that world anymore. Like that world is gone. Like the novelty of talking to a person is gone because everybody can do that everywhere.
The novelty of adventure is gone too.
Because you just go on
and stuff
YouTube.
like
Yeah,
that.
you
You
go on
know how
YouTube.
long it took me to do my druid quest the first time?
I couldn't do my warrior quest line because I threw away the list.
Yeah. That's the thing. There were actual things to it. It was much more like a Curse of Monkey Island kind of vibe than where it actually got to. I agree with you on pretty much everything that you said. There are a few things though that I will contest because I'll bullet them out right now. One thing I will say with old school RuneScape, there is that sense of permanent progression in one layer of the game, but they've also done seasonal better than anyone else. They have done really good seasonal.
I'm not a big fan of the seasonal like mindset, but I've heard many times
they
that
do
it's amazing.
seasonal the right way.
Yeah.
Because it encourages the nostalgia and it encourages people to try the main game. Actually, the first thing that we did with them was for one of the seasons. So I think that they do seasonal in the right way, and I think that it should be studied.
Yeah.
I don't think that seasonal is a one-to-one with MMOs. It's not.
I don't think. I think seasonal content in MMOs are like polar opposites.
It's what destroyed current WoW, in my opinion.
I hate seasons. I think they're retarded.
I think that you should be playing patches. I think that there are things that you can do with seasons that are good.
You should be going from step 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5.
But here's a cool thing that you can do with seasons.
Well, just let me finish.
Yeah.
In WoW now, you go from step 1 to 2, patch comes out, you go back to step 1, you go back to step 2.
100%.
And then you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. It's like Sisyphus, right? Rolling up the fucking the ball, and every patch, gravity takes over, and now you're back at the bottom of the hill again.
But there's one added thing. If you choose not to roll up the ball until the very end, the rock gets lighter, which is so stupid.
Exactly, right?
The game tells you to not play it. Which is horrible.
Exactly.
And you, like you said, you are only playing that one season, which sucks. If I look at WoW right now, I think that there are some things that you can do with seasons. We actually talked about this about like 5 years ago when we were asking for this to exist. But like when you have certain things where it's like, okay, this is like a big seasonal pinnacle achievement to work towards, I think that works. Like if it's like, okay, let's say you get a cloak quest or something like that. And then in the next patch, now you're upgrading a belt with this meta achievement that gives you like some sort of proc or something like that. Those things work well because they allow you, and this is my opinion, because they allow you to interact with an old version of the game and then empower it further when you progress. So like, let's say that there's a best in slot belt for warriors in tier 1 that stays good for quite a few tiers. But then when you get to that second tier, you can now enhance that belt further. Now there's a reason to do both versions of the game, and now everybody's playing.
Well, that's
the
what
entire
made
thing.
that's what made TBC good,
It was
right?
really
Is that
good.
like because like you want to talk about a belt for a warrior, right? I mean, you've got Onslaught Girdle and you've got the Gruul Dragon Slayer belt. Like both of those are very good.
Yeah.
And like so, the thing is like there's always a reason to go back and do Molten Core because there was like good trinkets. There was like Thunder Fury, obviously. There was Onslaught Girdle. There was the Sulfuris just for cosmetics cosmetic purposes.
Druids had a bunch of pieces too that they wanted. Right?
Yeah. And then like so like every raid, like Onyxia was like super easy to do, and you could get the bag, right? A lot of people wanted the bag, and so like, and how many bags do you need? You need a lot of bags.
Yeah.
So like, there's always a reason to do Onyxia, and it was actually like really easy to do. Then
they even had that in Wrath, right? Wasn't there a bag drop from Obsidian Sanctum?
Well, and also Onyxia. Like, because they re-added Onyxia,
yeah. Well, by then they had a mount, right?
They
had the mount by Wrath.
Yeah, the mount was from Wrath.
Yeah, that's the other issue with the game. There's too many recolors. There's too many bloats on a lot of those rewards.
There's too many things.
So nothing matters.
It's like everything is like, they're so like, everything is like, it's a separated version of something else.
But is that their fault, or is that just by nature of having the game for so long?
I think it's by nature of having the game for so long.
They sped it up, right? When they started recoloring mounts 50,000 times.
And then like when there's a season, and every season requires 7 new mounts, because that's how you have all the carrots on a stick, then yeah, absolutely, you're going to keep needing more and more and more of those things.
I got pee really quick. I drank too much wine. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, okay, yeah. Should we? You want to call it? Because I got pissed that bad. Did we miss anything? Oh, this is the All Crap Valentine's Day special. Oh, Mugenics.
Mugenics.
I wanted to talk about Mugenics.
Okay.
Man, I got to piss so bad. Let me make sure there's nothing else. Oh, Seed Dance 2, that's pretty good.
You just use the bathroom. Why don't you just use the bathroom?
Yeah, I'm just going to use the bathroom.
Yeah. So I saw you played Mugenics, right?
Yeah,
I saw it. What do you think?
Dude, the game's actually very good.
I played it a little bit. Like it's that kind of game. Like I've been playing Neo 3. I beat Neo 3.
Oh, you're still on that? Oh, you beat it now.
I did like 2 days ago. Yeah.
Oh, congrats,
it's a
bro.
great game. And
did you beat Relooted yet?
No, I didn't. It beat me. And no, like I also played Mugenics, and I was really kind of impressed at how good the game was. Like, I didn't expect it to have a good gameplay loop or anything. I didn't really know about the guy that had made it. I'd never played Binding of Isaac.
Oh, he's
or
a
anything
fantastic
like that.
dev.
Oh, he's a legend.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, and look, the thing is like one of the main things, when I look at the overall like list of credits, that's how I know if the game's going to be good. And if I see Chris Chan's on something, I know it's going to be a good game.
Sonichu, oh boy.
It's so funny to see everybody getting so mad. And then I was like, I looked it up because I heard like, oh, this person's in the game. Oh, this person's in the game. And then I'm playing and all I'm hearing is like, meow, meow. I'm like, wait, what's everybody so mad about? It's like meows.
It's like you're really getting mad about a meow like in a fucking video game. You're like Ethan Klein did a meow in a video game and you're crashing out over this?
The Chris Chan thing, the thing that's been so funny about this guy, the dev, he's just like quadrupled and eightupled down on everything.
He doesn't care.
I think it's why it's been so successful. I think it's one of the big reasons it's been so successful.
I think that the people talking about it, because like I think that there is a growing demand that people have for honest media.
Yeah.
That's it. Honest, real media. For better or for worse, they want the real thing. And with him, you're getting it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why it's successful. People don't want some curated, manicured, censored bullshit. They want to get the raw experience from some random bald neckbeard that made a video game 10 years ago that was good.
Yeah.
That's it. And they want the next one. That's it. They don't care about anything else. Just give me another one.
So, on top of that, NMP and Soda Pop do a podcast.
They do.
Yeah. They and Finn.
Yes.
Love that guy. So they were talking about, it was NMP, he was basically saying it's very weird the point that we've gotten in, and he was kind of talking about Mugenics and like a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But he's like, it's very weird that the point that we've gotten to right now is that everybody has to talk about politics.
I don't think so. Like, there's no, the thing is, like, here's the solution.
Okay.
You just never capitulate and you tell people to fuck off.
I agree.
Like, that's literally, that's actually the solution. And
you're
like,
right.
The problem is that some people think that this is the issue, is that if you feed them, they will come back. And so the moment that you give them even the smallest little crumb of like, well, I can see where you're coming from, I understand this, that's whenever it's over. It's over at this point. Because now they know that they can get to you. Now, yes, exactly. If people can see you bleed, they will go after you again and again and again. And I can guarantee you that after a while, Edmund doing something stupid or it would make somebody mad, they're going to stop talking about it because they know it won't make a difference. It won't matter.
So I do fully agree with you. Sure. You know that I agree with you on that because I've said that to you multiple times.
Fuck 'em.
The thing that I will say though, where I do agree with NMP, because what his idea was, I feel like it probably didn't accurately represent it. I don't need NMP to sue me right now. Then he'll take half my Pokemon cards. But the thing with NMP that he was really getting at is there is an increasing pressure where people will. I agree with what you said is the way to handle it.
Yeah.
But I do think that pressure is new. People want people to talk about politics, and I think what he said verbatim was like 15 years ago or something like that, it was taboo to talk about politics. And if you were a streamer, you just stayed in your lane.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Because I actually do view it right now. If somebody asks me my political view, and let's say I say no, I actually think they're justified to put pressure on me because I associate with you and you are a political streamer right now. You've entered that arena, and if I choose to do something with you, I am very well aware of what your political views are, and I do choose to align with you. That's a decision that I made. Sure. I don't agree with everything that you say politically.
I don't think anybody does. That's because that's what Edmund said, the creator of eugenics. He said if I only put people in there that agreed with my political views, I'd be the only one meowing in the game. And the fact is, like, I mean, there's plenty of people that I deal with and I'm friends with that I disagree with politically. It's like this entire idea that interacting with somebody is like co-signing everything that they say, or whenever you positively react to something that one person does, now it's like a tacit, like basically approval of everything that they've ever done. Like it's just basically what I think it really is it's people don't want to hear your political opinion. People want to hear you say their political opinion.
Yes.
That's what they really want. They don't care about what you think. They want to co-opt your platform, your space, your audience, and your voice to push their fucking agenda. That's the real goal, and that's the reason why I think it's problematic. If these people actually had a genuine, authentic interest in this, I think it would be more reasonable, right? And I'm sure that there are some people that are like that, but the overwhelming majority of these people are just trying to put other people on the spot, bully them into agreeing with them, and then make up a bunch of stuff that isn't even true in order to hopefully, like, basically, we're going to call you all of these bad things, and now you have to capitulate to us, and you have to say the thing that we want to hear in order for us to stop calling you that. But it's, in my opinion, it's like blackmail. Like, as soon as you do it once, they're going to do it to you again,
exactly,
and again and again. And so,
because that's how they win.
Yeah, well, it is. And the reason why is because there's not, and I think there needs to be a bigger pushback against this. Whenever people try to bully, attack, or push somebody else into a viewpoint, there's no reason why anybody has to have a viewpoint on anything. And it's like even things that you think are very simple, they're actually not. Like there's a million different layers of immigration, of Israel, Palestine, of, you know, like like inflation, of Donald Trump. Like this is a super complex subject. That's the reason why people spend their entire lives doing it. And so whenever people don't want to give their opinion on something, the truth is that in a lot of cases, it's not because they don't care, it's because they don't feel comfortable doing it. And at the end of the day, whenever you're pushing people into doing something that they don't feel comfortable doing, are you really the good guy? And I think in most cases the answer is no. No, you're not. You're being an asshole. You're being a dick.
And I fully agree with that. And then also, you know, nuance is very dead on the internet. Of course. Right? Like a lot of those things that you're saying, it's like, yeah, they're completely loaded issues. Yeah. And the whole reason that we talk about things is to get other people's perspective, because as a society we're supposed to be growing, but we're not. We are. And I agree with that. But the thing is there is a dividing line, right? I think there are some people who don't talk about politics.
Yeah.
And I think the signing off on every single thing that they've ever done or ever will do is like actually brain dead.
It's retarded.
You know, I was friends with you before you ever were a political streamer.
Well, no,
right? Like, and I had no clue you were ever gonna fucking do it. I thought we were gonna play WoW every single day until we fucking died. Now imagine if I felt a certain way. I was like, oh man, this guy, you know, I can't associate him with him for X, Y, and Z. Yada yada yada. Why would I be held accountable for everything that you did before that's such a crazy thing.
Well, the reason why is because that's what those people want. Like, they want to create pressure on other people so they can indirectly have a political win. Because if they can create pressure on another person to condemn a third person that they dislike, then they can feel like, well, we've successfully, separated and caused this person to feel more, ostracized and more isolated than they originally were. But like, there is no actual, like, it is a completely selfish desire. It's totally selfish.
Yeah, I think it's even bigger than a political win. I think what they're really trying to get at is like they're trying to make themselves feel like they have a purpose.
Exactly.
And elevate themselves. It's bigger than political. Yeah, right? It's like it's an entire identity that they're trying to create for themselves.
That's why these people go from cause to cause to cause to cause, because they have no cause in their own life.
Exactly.
There's nothing that they're doing. Like, I understand, like, and I'm not saying it's about everybody that's political, obviously, right? But many of the people that, like, go and, like, they use these causes as social accessories. Like, they're just losers. Like, they're losers in real life. They're not doing anything. They're morons. Like,
on every side.
Around them.
Every side.
Like, these people are just, like, people with 0 talent points IRL, right? Total fucking losers. And so then they go and they fixate on this stuff in order to make them feel like they're doing something that matters, right? But ultimately, like, no, actually, making photoshopped images of a person that you've never met, calling them, like a bad person. No, actually, you're not making the world a better place. You're really not.
Look, when our grandparents protested for something, they protested until something changed.
Yes.
Now people protest until it stops getting them likes.
Of course, yeah.
That's really, I mean, we have a good buddy of ours I used to call all the time, and, he's a religion that people hated around the time that 24 came out on cable, and I'm the religion that they hate when they don't hate that religion, right? And we talk about like whose turn is it, right? And we would watch people like protest certain ideas when it was popular, and then switch to the other side when it wasn't.
Yeah, of course.
And then the two people who are actually of those two are talking about the issues and willing to hear both sides and stuff like that, and like not diametrically opposed at all, just two people. And it's just so crazy to see people just trying to say what they think the right thing is. And I do think that there is a layer that is different. Like, I accept that as a human being, you right now are a political person.
Yeah, I do political content right now.
You've decided. You made that decision, and you know what? I'm proud of you because I know you believe what you say.
Unfortunately.
No, I know that you do. Like, you're not sitting there because you talked about it for years. You talked about what you thought, and you said that you were going to do this, and you said it years. And this is after we did WoW for years. Now, if you were just doing it because there are a lot of reasons that if you were doing it, I would tell you as your friend that I didn't respect you, right?
Yeah, it's just stupid.
But there are people who have completely different political beliefs than you that I also respect because they do it for a reason that they believe is right.
Like, if I disagree with somebody, it doesn't mean I hate them, right? I mean, like, even if I disagree with somebody on like a very core issue, there are just other ways that people see the world. I think that they're wrong. I think it's horrible that they think that.
But if you listen every now and then, they might be right.
They're not also like, a lot of these people are not terrible people. Like, they're just they don't see it the way that you do, and that's the way it is.
Because they live life a completely different way than you. And that's how we learn, right?
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
The only people that it's not worth listening to are people who are like punch the fucking monkey, rolling around with their fucking finally finding their Discord group and fucking bully the shit out of that guy.
Yeah, fuck him.
Fucking loser, stupid orangutan, doll, or fucking freak.
Okay, all right, guys. Thank you all very much for watching another episode of Allcraft. Make sure to tune in to our Patreon. Obviously, you can find it in the link below. We do a little bit extra content on there, along with some other benefits like random Discord stuff, etc. And we've got some other things coming pretty soon, right?
Fuck, I forgot to do the whole fucking thing that we were supposed to do with Patreon.
Oops.
We'll do it next week.
Well, anyway, thank you guys. We really